Blazin' Hit Radio.
I love that morning show.
Now with more us.
They wake me up.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
In the morning, in the shower.
You know, I was going to use David Bondarchuk in the song.
Yeah, he would have loved it.
I know, but then some gay guys are like, I'm not a queen. And, like, sometimes they don't think they are.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, in other words, like, they take that as an insult.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you're funny, you big old queen. And they're like, excuse me, I thought I was butch.
Okay.
I don't know. So I didn't. That's why. I mean, I'm sure he would be like, girl.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
here's the thing. He's more of a queen than you and Chris Parente.
Right.
So he definitely.
But the song's about our favorite queens.
Oh, okay. So,
right. So,
right.
so, I mean, I'm sure he's okay with being called a queen. You just never know.
You mean you were going to put his name in it?
Right.
You said I was going to do it with David, so I thought you meant you were going to perform it with Chef David.
No, I said I was going to put him in.
Oh yeah.
As
No,
one
I
of the
think
queens.
you should have. He would have been honored.
Right.
He listens every day.
Right, I know, but again, he
And
could
now
be
that
like, in his mind, he's like, some people don't even know I'm gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, if he didn't get offended that morning you called him ortho, then I don't think he's going to get offended by anything.
Well, that's why I went with ortho instead of Bondarchuk, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Did the Broncos win? Oh, no, we didn't
That
play.
was Thursday
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Thursday.
Did we
my
win?
God.
We did win. So are we
Okay.
still on a high from that?
Aren't you?
You're taking away your Larry on Sports title.
That's
Right.
the whole
You're
point
losing.
of me being on sports. I know nothing. It's you guys that give the real information.
Right.
That's the whole point.
So yeah, a lot of fantasy footballs died yesterday. Season's over for a lot of people.
That's good. Less stress. You can focus on the holidays now.
Well, it died like 2 weeks ago, depending on where you were.
Oh, sorry, my husband's in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Obviously, then.
Yeah.
Can I just say this again? Wiggins and I keep matching every week.
No, mine is not the same.
I know,
shirt.
but it's the same look of the same shirt.
I
Yeah.
do love that YOLO shirt. I wish I had
the rum love.
Yeah, the rum love and the Jamaican colors. I love it.
And then you're wearing a shirt that says resonated.
Yeah, from the band we talked to a while back.
Right. We just are on the same page. We're like the host of the morning Fox News show. I'm Megan and you're Kirk. And you called me last night again and said, what are we wearing?
Yeah, that's what they have to do. They have to color coordinate.
Right, because you don't want to be like all just off. You kind of want to give a assembly of a look.
Right, exactly. There's a pattern. Thank you for coming in this morning, Wig. I know you're
How do you
sick.
feel?
No, I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I got into when I was laying in bed, I got into a Twitter beef with a radio personality in town, kind of.
In this town?
Yeah.
What'd you get into it
Because
with?
they were the ones, it's the guy who talks like this and says that, remember he
God.
supported Donald Trump? And remember that you,
Oh,
And so
right.
he posted something about Chris Matthews and the comment that Chris Matthews made about Melania. And so I was like, it's funny how you guys will call out a liberal, I was like, for a comment made, but then you support a president who openly on a hot mic said something even worse than what Chris Matthews said. And he goes, calm down, we can't control this craziness. And I was like,
yo, calm down, we can't control this craziness.
And so, like, I have some responses ready that I was like, I should talk to you guys. No, because I was like, I should talk to you guys before I send them, before I like start a turf war or something. Like,
That's true.
That's why you're not supposed to talk politics or religion.
And the other thing is, they don't have a lot of content, so you're going to give them content, so I wouldn't waste my time.
They're not smart enough to take that on the air.
Are you serious?
No way. They wouldn't take that on.
I think
because then it makes them look like Trump supporters.
Well, no,
they are. Everybody knows they are.
No, they're just going to go with what they usually go with, which is a lot of nothing.
Okay.
So, yeah, whatever.
And that's funny to get a Twitter beef with BJ.
So that's what you do when you lay in bed. You just like look on Twitter and say, "Oh hell no!"
We
And
want you
tell
to
this
sleep
dude what's
and
up.
get better. We don't want you getting your stress level all raised up.
Getting it back
Great,
up,
and now his mic just
now
broke.
the mic's breaking all
Today's
the
that
damn
kind of
time.
day.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
already
help
starting.
Wiggins.
Yeah, I don't know
did
where
you-
that screw went.
Did you say you're going to the doctor today?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You should have went to the doctor a couple days ago, but
Thanks, Eula Berry.
no, I'm just saying now you're going toward the tail end, so that there's not a lot they can do when you're almost well.
I'm like in the middle. I don't think I've like recovered.
Right.
Like,
No,
I'm
for
like,
sure. But
Are you putting Vicks on your chest or at the
Yeah,
bottom of your
Robitussin.
feet? Did you put?
Oh my
did
God.
You put some onions in your socks.
I've
what
been
are you
drinking
doing?
NyQuil.
Yeah.
And because I've like stopped.
Dreams.
Yes, I've like stopped I've stopped smoking. Like I'm trying to quit that, you know.
Right.
And so when you stop smoking, you already have crazy dreams the way it is. So I took the NyQuil and then was having dreams that like I like killed somebody. I don't remember. I don't remember killing
You
somebody.
killed me.
I killed him. Yes.
Because of what I said about my Chris Matthews.
And I don't remember the crime I committed, but I just remember being on the run. And it's so like I'm in Breckenridge and I'm like running through this mountain town and I hear the cops after me and I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm on foot, and it's like kind of like the Ferris Bueller thing where I'm just like running through different houses, different yards. I get into one house and I'm like hiding.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hiding behind the corner, and I see this girl walk through, and I'm all, I'm just hiding. It's okay. I'm not doing anything. And then she goes,
wow, your dream goes on.
And then she goes, Mom, and then and I take off.
Hey!
Now you're jumping over
on the trampoline,
into a hot tub,
right?
Run into another house, and then I run through that. I go, can I run through your backyard or through your back door? And they go, yeah. And I run through the back door, and there's people on a porch, and this guy's all, hey, I want to show you my car.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking,
don't have time for that, mister.
Well, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to take his car as a getaway car. He's all, it doesn't start. And I go, all right, I got to go.
And then there's a nurse at the door when you get to the front door, and she's like, I hear that you were feeling blue.
Yeah.
So you know how they say you can interpret dreams?
Yeah.
So
what does that mean?
What are you running from?
Oh, you're running from something? I thought you said like wanting to kill somebody.
I know.
I don't know.
That could be too.
Maybe that's it.
Right.
Dream interpretation is so ridiculous though, because like everybody you could tell is making it up, and maybe there's a standard thought process to it. But like I've seen dream interpreters go, oh, that means this, and then another dream interpreter, no, that means this.
Right.
So I don't think it's like kind of like psychic.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I mean?
I don't know. They've been super weird.
Do you know, someone once told me that you are every person in the dream, technically.
You control it.
So you were the little girl coming into your house.
Who are you?
Of
course, somebody told you that.
You were the people on the porch saying, "Cool, want to look at my car?"
Yeah.
Like you are all those people in some sort of your conscience.
I think dreams are just random, and I don't think they mean anything, and I think that they're just like your DVR and what was ever left of the week. Because sometimes you could be stressing about something very specific and then dream about it.
Right.
So that's what that means. Like it doesn't represent something else.
No, I think that they
I think sometimes, like, 'cause I've had dreams where they've been almost come true. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Give me an example.
I had a dream one time about a smoke and a fire happening. When this was when I was like 9 or 10, and then my mom and I went to work with my mom, and then we came back, and on top of the fridge, a box of matches had been starting to smolder, and there was smoke when we got into there.
Whoa!
So there's always been like things with YOLO Rum have happened too, to where I've been like, oh, I was like, today, I was like, this is going to get done, and the litigation is going to get done with this, and then sure enough, it was done.
That's
so
cool.
there's always something with
or
that.
when a loved one
Whatever,
comes into your dream.
Professor X.
I think people have that ability.
Totally. Or when a loved one comes in and stuff, like you feel it in your heart, in your soul, seeing them in your dream. Like you know that was
it was someone who passes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
totally. Dog.
Can't dismiss
whatever.
those dreams.
Right.
You never know.
That emotion that happens while you're in your sleep.
Yeah, but then most people, and especially me, wake up with no recollection of dreams. So
smoke pot.
Whatever.
They say you got to wake up and immediately before you even roll out of bed, you start writing down what you remember.
I know, but then what?
Because
Then
you
have a
lose
bunch
it
of,
by the time you get to the toilet.
and that's fine. But then you have a bunch of dreams written down, and so what?
But some people
never
take
know.
comfort in the dreams.
Yeah.
Some people are like
ideas
or
exactly. Whatever. There's a lot of things that could happen from dreams. But then again, you could be right, Larry. It could just be your crazy imagination.
Right.
But you know,
I think that like sometimes if you're like, I know I'm going to Disney World. We're talking about Disney World. Everybody's talking about Disney World. We got the tickets and everything. And then I dream about Disney World. That's because it's been on my mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. But then there's
Disney
other
World
things.
doesn't represent the
But then there's other things like I heard an interview with Matthew McConaughey over the weekend, and remember he was doing all those rom-coms forever. He was like doing a romantic comedy, J-Lo. He's doing one with Kate Hudson. He said that he had two dreams, the exact same dream. One was in 1991, one was in 1996, and it was him 11 frames of a movie going down the Amazon River. He'd never been to the Amazon, never talked about the Amazon, didn't even care about the Amazon. And then so after those rom-coms, he decided, you know what, I'm going to take take a break and go see what these dreams are about in the Amazon. And he went there, and it changed his whole life. He met that Camilla, that's his wife.
Yeah.
And so, there's things like that. If you don't even talk about Disney World or whatever it is, if you pay attention to what your dreams are saying, maybe there is something there.
But he met her in a bar. He was making margaritas. I heard the same show. And she was with a friend. And
Right.
he invited her over.
Right.
Right. But that wasn't in
No, but it was started with him
rainforest.
taking
On that
advantage of
journey.
his dreams and going on the journey starting in the Amazon.
I don't know. You never know.
To each their own.
To each
Right,
their own.
because he would
I
have
believe
been
in that
working on
stuff.
another rom-com in Hollywood and wouldn't have wandered, without a
Into
job.
that.
Yeah, but
into
he
that
also
bar.
said that he was done doing rom-coms anyway. Like, he was done with that part of his career.
Right.
And, yeah, that was a great interview.
Yeah, he's a
Stern,
great interview.
and you guys were so right about Stern.
His
and
interviews
his
are
celebrity
great.
interviews.
I can sit and listen to him all day.
He goes so deep, and you're just like, shut up, Robin, you're interrupting Howard. And then you're like, oh my God, I don't want to get out of my car.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's what he does.
Damn it, like 4 times I've been like sitting in my car.
But on the
Right.
flip side, you guys as a show are more entertaining than
Right.
they are when they're
Right.
when he doesn't have celebrity interviews, and that's also.
We could get to that point if
but
we had
yes,
those
if
kind
you
of
had celebrity
celebrities and
interviews
time to
coming in
talk.
here, I agree. I think that was the one thing. Like imagine.
well, we always kill it with comedians and whoever comes through.
But imagine back in the day when you had Obama and you get 2 minutes to ask questions.
Yeah.
It's like versus, all right, you get 15 minutes with him. You guys would get just as
Whole
deep with
different.
him and,
Oh, yeah.
and make it work. So
Right.
I don't know. It's
I'd do 15 minutes with Trump.
Oh, God.
would you?
So much to talk about.
I don't think he would do 15 minutes with you.
No. He would just want to be like,
He'd be like, fake news, you
Right.
work for the media,
Well,
you're fake.
It would depend on how we came at him. If we came at him like that, I would not come after him. I would just let him talk. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't say, you and I have tweeted back and forth,
No,
Mr.
no.
Trump.
I mean, we'd have
There's
to call
a
him
tweet
on
out
something.
there where you actually used my handle.
Yeah, but we're not going to ever get that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gonna be in jail
Unless if
soon.
we're wearing Trump shirts and hats and we're like, you're the man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wrong. I love you, President Trump.
I don't know. I bet you if you tried to bait him on Twitter, he might.
I
No,
think
you know,
about
he-
that.
he-
I think
he
about
stopped
that.
going back and forth with
With-
regular people.
Okay.
He only goes back and forth with celebs or somebody who's like in the news, like that basketball dad.
Right.
Did you know that dad that confronted him about his son who he
The
got
ball,
out of China?
LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his son now they took a job with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Doing what?
Being Harlem Globetrotters.
The dad and the son?
I think the dad's like maybe a coach.
I think it's the
So
dad.
what,
I
like
don't
the
think the
ball-
son's doing it. The son's playing for the Lakers right now.
No, he's not playing for the Lakers
He
anymore.
just played with the Lakers. No, the old dad is not, but the son
Yeah.
is. The
Oh.
son just played
I
against
read that
LeBron
they
the
both
other
got-
day.
They both got a job with the Harlem
So what? Like
Globetrotters.
it's a daddy son. So like the ball rolls off, starts on
Yeah.
when the dad's
And then
left,
goes to the
left
kid.
hand, and then he goes to behind his head and goes down on the other arm to his kid.
No, that's him doing it, and the dad going, "Good, good. Now throw the bucket of confetti at the audience."
Right, totally.
Right. I remember going to one of those games, and I was like,
We
"This
all
seems set
had
up."
to go to one of those, and
Right.
we all went. Are these can't be the same guys that were like in
Right.
a cartoon back in the day, right?
Right. These guys
Like,
are 20.
is there really? Does Curly still really live? I mean,
Right. It's like when a band gets older and they start replacing the people in it,
Yeah.
and it's all still for one night only.
Right.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
It's
and
the
there's
s-
not an original person in it.
It's the sons, not the dad. It's LaMelo Ball and Leangelo Ball. In case you're having second thoughts about Lithuania, which one of them might be going out there to play,
Oh,
we
okay.
found a team that y'all that tours the whole dang globe, and it's an offer to be on the Globetrotters. So
So you just have to watch them on, when they go to stores and malls.
right. Christmas specials.
yeah,
No, I'm saying because he's going to steal.
oh,
Oh, gotcha.
all across the globe.
Right.
He's gonna
Right,
steal.
shoplifting.
Ain't stealing in China anymore. I'll tell you that much.
Right? You only get one get out of jail card for that situation.
Right.
Next time you're going.
We can talk about this later, but you hear what Diddy wants to do?
What is it?
He wants to buy the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, right. And, they're
he
for sale.
And he wants to start Colin Kaepernick. He wants to bring him
nice.
to the team. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, because the owner of the Panthers is selling the team because
Sexual misconduct or something like that.
Exactly.
Everyone's just all these
and the
old
guy's
white
like
powerful
81,
dudes.
and so he's like, screw it, I'm going to go on a boat.
You know, it's kind of funny when you think about it. It all started with the LA Clippers owner. Remember, he was caught on tape. He had that like
The old
mistress
dude
girl.
with the mistress,
yeah,
right? The Asian chick
it's
And
so-
she
that
put
wore
that
that big old sun
mask.
visor.
Right. and the wife's like, still married to him, and then he's got this mistress that he's getting all this money.
And then the
to.
wife had the last laugh because she took everything back from the mistress. Remember?
Right, and then she also was like, "We're
She's
selling
like,
the team."
Right. We're gonna
Right.
take that nice condo we bought you. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
V.
Right.
And then
Whatever the hell your name
she's
is.
disappeared from the news.
She really has.
Things just come and go.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where this started because part of it was also like the Taylor Swift ass grab, and then before that was the guys from Fox. You heard about the Allies guy or the Heirs guy, and then you heard about Bill O'Reilly. And you know,
it
it's
all
funny.
just came to a head.
Right, Rupert.
Excuse me, a blow. No, that's not the right word
Yeah.
either.
Rupert Murdoch was on British news or whatever, and you know he's still the like CEO or whatever of Fox.
And,
And,
part of the deal with Disney that went down.
Right. So he was like, the reporter was asking him, "Well, what about Fox News and all that?" And he's all, "Oh, it was much ado about nothing, really." He's like, "There was a couple things, and we handled it very quickly." He's like, "We handled it within hours," and he goes, "I mean days." Maybe weeks. He's like, we handled it then, and then there was nothing major, and it's fine now. And then they played that clip for a girl that used to work at Fox, and she was under an order where she couldn't talk about stuff.
Of course.
And now she was like,
she can talk now
since he breached it, and like is saying stuff. She was able to come on and say everything, and she's like, O'Reilly paid $48 million, and you still hired him back.
Wow.
There was like a bunch of guys that were sending junk pics to women. It was like just the worst place to work.
But the truth
is it
out
junk
there.
pic? I mean, for Larry, yes, but I mean,
from a coworker, I don't
that's
need
not
it.
what you want to
Right.
see.
It depends on the coworker.
Yeah.
Unless I've already said, unless we're already on a flirting level,
Right.
and we're laughing, and
Yeah,
things
just
are
to get
consensual,
a blink,
right.
and then you see.
Right, but you guys are way too eager to send a junk pic.
Especially
you guys,
these guys.
You guys will flirt, and it's a matter of like
It's already on your phone,
I give
yeah.
you 10 text messages before one of you says, "Send a pic." I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
The problem
not
is
happening.
Young, if you're dealing with young guys that you said like you're in a mutual situation with,
Yeah.
it's these old men who think that somebody wants to see their stuff. You know
Right,
what I
and
mean?
I'm sorry, it's got gray hair on
Right,
it.
like-
That's the last thing I want to see unless there's dollars attached.
Right, there's a senator that just
I mean,
bowed
you
out
got to
for
make it worth my while.
doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like he's just like old guy sending
It
junk.
kind of probably looks like what Rupert Murdoch looks like.
Right. Wrinkled,
going
gray.
bald.
Yeah, you're just like,
saggy underneath.
Dry.
Right, triple chin.
no, thank you. No,
Gross.
thank you.
You guys are making me straight.
303-728-3420. Give us a shout out. Larry, one of the guys who sent us a shout out from Scotland, you asked for a picture of him in a kilt, and he sent it to us. So I'll show you that here in a little bit.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Good morning, you guys.
Now with more us.
You rock.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and
I
Kathie.
just love you both.
Oh, we love you too.
Love you too.
And I also love the listener who is from Scotland.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that right now. So on Friday, you can send us a shout out. If you don't know this, you could just use the app. And some people get too shy to call. They don't want to call. They get nervous.
Or they don't have
whatever.
time to interact.
Or they don't have time to interact. Or they're at a stoplight and they want to somehow be part of the show. So
Or they're in a different time zone.
or they're in a different time zone, like this guy from Scotland, which is going to play here in a
Chris.
second. Yeah, Chris from here.
Hi, it's Kendall B. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Vince all the way in Tain, Scotland.
Oh, Vince.
Just wanted to let you guys know that we appreciate you guys being back. And thank you for getting me through my work day. Keep up the good work. And Blazin' Hit Radio, love you over here across the pond. Peace.
Okay, he's from Taint, Scotland. I love it.
And I don't know if he's from Tain,
He
Scotland.
said Taint, Scotland.
It was something like
It was
that.
Tain, I think.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But he sent a picture of him.
Well, you had asked about
Do they
the
wear
kilt,
kilts?
or ask him
Right.
to send a picture of it, Larry, specifically after we had played that. And so this morning, he had sent one that says, "Hey guys, so happy so happy you're back. I called on Thursday from Scotland, or gave the shout out. Larry asked for a kilt pic, a cheers mate. I am from Denver and live in Scotland with my wife and son. Thanks for making my day." And there's a picture of him right there.
Yeah, okay, sorry, that's a cool look.
Totally a cool look. He is a good looking dude. Like, and
Right.
plus very masculine. Like the photo,
Right.
even though he's wearing a kilt, I mean, he's rocking it. He looks like a tough dude. He is so cool looking. I'm digging it. I'm digging it, Vince.
From the waist up, he's got just a vest and a black shirt and a tie, so it kind of looks like what we're used to looking. But then he's got the kilt, and then long black socks, and some sort of like furry thing
It's a
hanging on
beaver.
his
I think it's
crotch.
a beaver.
It's not a
that
beaver.
doesn't make any sense.
Why would Isn't it usually like supposed to be
the pelt of a
something like that, or is it something to do with like your family? What are those called? Your
The
crest?
yeah,
crest.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more of a
beaver
like,
crest.
No, I think it's more of a fanny pack. You know what I mean? It's like a
It could
fur
be.
fanny pack. Like I think his cell phone's in there and his keys.
So he just flips
And
it up and then
cement.
stuffs something
Well,
down there.
now
Right.
Vince, we need to know what's in the pack.
What's in the bag?
Now, email
What's
us-
in the sack?
Email us back or give us a shout out. And if you're listening right now and want to give us a shout out, you can. Another shout out.
Wait, real quick.
Yes.
There's a famous picture of a guy that's like a military guy, and he's like doing like some official thing, and he's got his kilt up,
Yeah.
and like a big gust of wind, and he's in front of a bunch of royals.
Okay.
And the wind goes up, and he's not wearing anything. And I didn't know if that was the case for all of them, or if like some wear underwear and some don't. But I think that would be like comfortable as hell.
Yeah.
Just be winging it.
Well, I mean, just to be free
I
underneath
don't know.
there.
I don't know what it's like. To
Larry
have
was
stuff
wiggling
like
his
he
legs as
totally
he was saying that. He's
I mean,
to be
like, I don't
free.
know. I don't know.
Because people think that about boobs, and sometimes I prefer my girls to at least have some sort of
Restraint,
separate, support.
Right, because they'll take the car and go out on their own.
Right, exactly. So I don't know how it is with you guys. Some of you must want a little support.
Oh no, for sure. But I mean, it just looks awful comfortable. It's kind of like when you wear your robe around the house or something like that.
Right.
You wear a robe around your house?
A very short one.
You have a robe?
Yes, super
It's a
short.
kimono.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got it two
Pink
sizes
silk.
too small,
Yeah.
and then I shrunk it.
Right.
So if I sit down, it's on.
So we are also granting Christmas wishes. The deadline's already passed if you haven't sent in your nomination letter, but we got hundreds of letters sent in to us. So we're still granting those. And one of them, one of the wishes that we granted, they actually gave us a shout out after we granted that wish.
Oh, cool.
Hi guys, it's Kathie. You guys just gave me a call with a Christmas wish, and I just want to thank you so much. But it was too sweet not to give you guys a shout out and let you know that Isabella is walking around school starstruck, telling anybody that'll listen that she got to talk to Larry this morning. Not that she doesn't like Kathie too, but Larry does the voices in the songs, and she spoke to a star, and she's got to make sure everybody knows about it. Just that phone call alone has made her the happiest girl in the world. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful to you guys. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas back to you.
That's so sweet.
So if you want to help out, you can text WISH to 303-728-3420. We have a GoFundMe set up that a lot of people have donated to, so that's your way to help us grant these wishes. And in addition, the Green Solution helping us out for that as well.
Right, for sure. But if you want to hit up our GoFundMe, you can definitely help us grant more wishes.
We were talking about dreams, Kathie. I don't know if you want to read that text. We were talking about people having the ability or the sense of being able to tell.
Right, of the future and stuff. And let me just preface this. The only reason that I'm kind of non-believer is because I worked in radio long enough, and I was always the producer that had to pick up the psychic.
Right.
And so every single time I was always like waiting for them to vibe on anything about me, say,
Right.
that wasn't general. And it never happened. And it was always like wrong. And then Kathie got a pet psychic, and I was like, I'm going to give it another shot.
Right.
I'm going to take my dog to see the pet psychic.
Right.
And that didn't pan out for me, but it pans out for other people. So that's why I'm kind of a doubter on it.
Okay.
And the other reason is when I go to a red light and I'm at the palm reader on Colfax.
Oh, right.
I'm always like, come out of your house.
Yes.
Open your drape. I'm right here. I'll be a believer. I'll pull in.
If you don't believe in Santa, you're not going to get any gifts, bro. That's kind of
Exactly
that's
it.
kind
You
of
gotta believe.
you have to
No,
believe.
but I do believe in the psychic that finds the dead body. I do believe in the twins that know when one died.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I
Right,
do
right.
believe in that.
Okay.
There was a palm reader that told Jim Carrey. There was an Andy Kaufman Jim Carrey documentary that came out, and he talked about
Yeah,
the
I saw
palm
that.
reader telling his future, and she predicted some things. So I
Really?
believe, yeah,
Like
I believe-
what?
Like that he was going to become a millionaire, and he's going to have 3 successful movies in '96, or I think she gave it time, but she said he's going to have 3 successful movies.
She's all, I've told that to 800 people.
You're
It
the
finally
only one.
happened.
It finally stuck.
whatever.
She's all, can you be on my website
Right.
and say that?
See, well, and I just believe in that. And so he said after that he did Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Liar Liar. And those,
Great
and
movies.
those
I
three,
love all of them.
And so that happened, and then something else in the movie that he believed that he wrote himself a check for $10 million. And he said he was broke.
I thought it was for $1 million.
Maybe it was for $1 million.
Yeah, he wrote a check for $1 million, and he's like, I'm
To
gonna
who?
To himself.
Okay.
And this is when he was before In Living Color. I think.
This was before he made anything,
Right.
yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to make this out to a certain date, and I'm going to cash this check.
Okay.
And it happened. He was able to cash that check. And then he kept the check, and then when his dad died, he put it in his dad's pocket.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does that work? If you write a check to yourself from
Right.
your account to go into your
Exactly.
account, it kind of wouldn't work.
Defeats
So,
the
yeah,
purpose.
But
that's
it's still just the fact of putting it in the universe by writing it out.
Right. No, for sure. I believe in that positive thinking and willing something to happen.
So you believe in The Secret? Because that's the
Yeah, for sure.
that book,
Absolutely.
that theory. You put it out in the universe and it'll come to you.
For sure. And I think that you have to visualize things
Right.
before they happen. You know what I mean? You really have to just see it and feel it. And yeah, I believe in all that.
Okay, all right. Well, so this one on the text line, since we were talking about dreams and whether or not you can believe dreams, Larry doesn't believe dreams. He
Well, I
thinks
think
that
they're
it's-
just a
he
random
thinks it's
DVR
things firing
overload.
off.
Right.
Firing off in your brain as you're sleeping.
Right.
Okay.
Like I didn't really like the alligator in my dream was just an alligator. It wasn't me struggling with something.
Okay,
You know
gotcha.
what I mean?
So this one says, my girl's family has like a sixth sense. Every time a girl gets upset or is sad, her dad calls her randomly and asks if she's okay. He also gets a funny feeling when something's wrong. When she got into an accident, he called to check on her without even knowing she got into a car crash.
Whoa.
And on her mom's side of the family, they can see and feel spirits easier than the normal being. It's a trip, and her dreams are so terrifying, freaks me out sometimes.
I do believe that of intuition, and I think women are more intuitive than men.
Yeah.
But I do believe in that. Like
You
I
got to
think
listen to that voice and go with what your gut is telling you.
sometimes yes, but I like sometimes if you're a second guesser, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Right. But yeah, no, I believe in that. You know, like having intuition, and I know that women always like he's cheating, like they know.
There's that,
Right,
right?
you know what I mean? They just
or
kind of-
when you feel like you're in a unsafe.
Oh, right.
I've been in places where all of a sudden something's gone off, and I'm like, I
Don't
need to
go
remove.
down.
I need to remove myself as soon as possible from this
Ooh,
situation.
right.
Right. You know, like hanging out with that stranger in Dallas. I mean, at
Right.
2:00 in the morning, it was time for me to go back to
Right.
the airport to catch my flight.
Wow, that just sounds dangerous. I don't even know if I know
I
that.
don't know what I was thinking. We've all done something dumb.
Was this a Craigslist?
No. But we all have something dumb where we did something dumb
Well,
in our
we ended
life.
up in a wrong
and,
place.
And you look back and go, thank God I survived that.
Right.
You know, like you were an idiot for thinking that you could go with, whether it was strangers in a car or whatever,
Right, in a dark room.
driving drunk with an idiot,
Right.
something. And you're like, thank God I survived that. We all have those
My
stories.
mom, see, I've always had that ability, and my mom met Ted Bundy, the serial killer.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, you totally look like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
and
my
that
God,
explains
you're
my
him.
temper. Ladies like to come to me, and then I snap at any given moment.
You drive a Volkswagen.
Yeah, I drive a Volkswagen.
Wait a
Pretend that
minute,
your arm's
like,
broken.
Was she just too young? I mean, how
She
did
was
she meet him?
she was 20 something, and she was driving around the country with her friend, and they went to Rocky Mountain National Park.
And
to
that's
camp.
where he picked up people.
And he
murdered somebody.
people, and so they're literally
Wow.
camping, and they're wrapping up the next day. All their stuff's in the car, and then a guy in button up and
Good-looking
who is coming out of the forest. So she's thinking it's weird that a guy's in dress clothes walking out of the woods.
Totally.
And then she's like, would you watch my son for a little bit?
No.
I was going to run up the street to the market.
No, I wasn't born yet. I
Yeah.
was conceived
Okay.
after.
Oh,
they
that was
met.
right.
Yeah.
But
Because
you're
he's
right.
your father.
But thank
Yeah.
God she was smart enough to go, that's weird, a guy in a nice clothes walking out of the forest.
Well, so her friend was like, "Let's meet him. He's cute." My mom was like, "No, let's go." And so
She's like, I need to go see my friend Charlie Manson.
Yeah.
He's a good friend.
right.
So-
We call him Chuck.
Right.
He's
She's
a
like,
funny guy.
We live on some land.
So they left, and then years later, my mom cleaned houses for a living, and so she would always watch TV as she's cleaning the houses or keep it going on in the
Right.
background. And Geraldo was playing. And this is where he did like his one and only interview on Geraldo. And so then he talked about where he buried some of the bodies, and how it's in Rocky Mountain National Park, and he gave the date and the year, and it was the same time that she had seen him walking out of it. And
He's
she-
all, I believe I fathered a son.
Yeah.
that gives me
Wiggins.
goosebumps.
Yeah, so she said that she remembers driving down the mountain or leaving Rocky Mountain National Park and feeling a feeling of guilt because she's like, we should call someone. Like she just had
Right.
that thought
that was so weird. We need, and they
yeah,
didn't.
and they never did. I mean, cell phones, none of that existed.
Right,
so it's
right.
like you're going to go out of your way to call 911 about a guy in a button up, whatever.
Right.
And so, sure enough, like that's just what she tells it, and I'm like, oh my god,
That's crazy.
You're talking about being in a situation and knowing I shouldn't be in this situation.
Yes.
And that was Chris and I when we went to Amsterdam, and when we went to some gay bar.
Okay.
And it seemed like a regular gay bar, but then everybody that was coming in kept going to the back of the gay bar. So we're like, well, I guess we'll go back there to see what's going on.
Right.
And it turns out it was just like a dark room where guys were just touching each other and having sex. So we were like, we should go.
In the back room?
In the back room.
Did you go to the back room?
Yeah, we went to the back room to go look.
Okay.
And we realized that it was like, oh, this is an orgy.
Yeah, okay.
And we're in the dark. You know what I mean? Like pitch black.
Did you start getting touched?
Yeah, but no, I mean, it was like we were on the fringe.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of looking over, and then we're like, yeah, we should probably
We gotta go. Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
And is that just because you saw some of the guys going back and some of them weren't cute?
No.
So you're like, in
They
the dark,
were.
I could end up with that ugly guy.
No, it just seemed like more of a situation where it's like, is there any condoms in here?
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? What's
was not
going
safe.
on?
They were playing with fire.
Right, or
Yeah.
something. We didn't know. I wanted to break a big flare and throw it in the middle of the room to see what was happening. Right, and then
Like pitch black.
Right.
And then everybody just scattered.
Right. Exactly like Jurassic Park.
I wonder if any of that went down at that Atlanta airport over the
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, where
and
the blackout
when
was.
the blackout happened.
1,000 flights canceled.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that was the busiest airport in the world.
Yeah, that is crazy
the hub.
because I was thinking what you were saying, like Singapore or
New York.
Heathrow.
Right.
Like those
Los
get a
Angeles.
lot of action.
Right, for sure. And the fact that
More
that
than
is
it-
like the
yeah,
busiest airport. But apparently, I was asking Chris if United was screwed. And apparently, not even United has a ton of flights that go through there. Mostly Delta.
Delta. It's
Right.
funny you say that because my dad worked for Delta, retired from Delta, and when he was working at a JFK in New York City, they said we're opening hubs. You could either go to Atlanta, you can go to Dallas, or you can go
Denver.
to Denver. And my dad was like, we're going to Denver.
Rocky Mountain High.
Right, exactly. My dad was a
Colorado.
skier. He was a skier, so
Right,
he was
right.
like, we're going out there. But it is kind of crazy. I could have been in Atlanta, and I would have loved growing up in Atlanta.
Exactly. She's on her third black husband.
Yeah.
She has 8 kids.
Kathie's I had a dream that we lived in Atlanta.
Exactly.
So I saw it happening. It was great.
You could have been friends with Tiny.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Hey, Kathy, let's go pick up some black guys. Maybe I'll try a white guy.
What?
I'm gonna try a white guy.
Huh?
A white guy.
What? We can't be friends. I don't understand
Oh,
you.
yes. No, you got to be friends with Tiny because you get to be the pretty one.
Yeah, true.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Now with more us.
They're just really funny.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
Speaking of more us, tis the season.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the holidays, and I definitely feel like I've put a few LBs on. I've given myself a little leeway.
Yeah.
Some extra
Everyone
Christmas.
has. I mean, there's
Right.
extra fudge being passed around. And even if there's not fudge, you just feel like you should be eating something.
I finally got the sugar cookie I was craving.
Oh.
Just the regular standard sugar cookie with like a snowman with icing on it.
Right.
Chris got one from Starbucks, and it was heavy.
Oh, good.
It was like that
Starbucks
kind
came
of-
through for you.
Right, for sure. But then it was only one.
Oh.
So I needed a box where it was like 10.
Totally, right.
Or I guess
Separated by that paper.
Right. Or
Right.
get off my lazy ass and learn how to make these kind of cookies.
Right. That's what I need to do. The girls and I think we're going to attempt it towards the end of the week.
I think the icing for a cookie is different than the icing for a cake. So I don't know if you're supposed to buy frosting in a can to put over the cookie.
Well, it depends. You kind of sometimes gravitate towards the icing that's more of the powdered sugar and water
Yeah.
icing.
Right.
Whereas
that's on those cookies.
Right. Like you got to give me some buttercream.
Right. Kathy wants just blank cookies
Yeah.
and a thing of frosting, and she'll make her own cookie.
Right. It is true. Oh, no, you know what? Just give me the can.
Right.
I'll dip the cookies into the frosting.
Here, I'll screw the cookies.
Right.
Where's the spoon?
Right. Don't think I haven't done that.
I love Christmas. I love
I do
everything
too.
about it.
Well, speaking of Christmas and everything about it, because, it is a week from today.
Whoa.
How crazy is that?
Stressful.
Here's
Stressful.
some little tidbits that you can quiz your coworkers today with.
Okay.
Okay, so do you know where the tradition of hanging Christmas stockings or drinking eggnog came from?
Germany.
Yes. Oh, where it came from?
Where
Like
did it
country?
come from? Right, well,
Germany.
just where
Or like
did-
how did it come about?
Right.
Okay, the stockings were probably like a thing where it was like, well, we're poor and we can't afford presents, so
Right.
maybe you put your stocking up and you get something in that.
And it's in a song, so
Right.
right.
It's
Right.
like it was people's socks. The people
Yeah.
use their own socks to do it.
And what about eggnog?
Ew, what is that?
I just was left out by chance, and then they were like, "This tastes good."
Somebody put some alcohol with it. It's good.
Right, it's still okay. I don't even know what is in eggnog.
Well,
eggs.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what's the nog part then?
I don't know.
Nastiness.
Right.
Some sort of nutmeg, a little cinnamon.
Some people love it.
Nobody knows for sure how the traditions of stockings and eggnog got started.
So you tricked us. Okay. So then they can't trace that back.
They can't trace it anywhere.
Well, then I'm going to say it was people hanging their socks on the fireplace to dry them because that's how you dried your socks.
I could see that.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's do something nice for the kids since we got okay this year. We'll put a potato
in their
in
stock.
each sack.
Right. They each get a potato.
Right.
It's been a good year.
Right.
Back in the day, before electricity and the string of lights that you would put on the Christmas tree, when you see like old school like photos and stuff,
It'd probably just be like popcorn on a string.
people used to literally use real candles.
On a tree?
In their tree.
Several people died before they figured out
that wasn't the
lights on
best
a
place
string.
to put a candle, an open flame.
Well, and then when they finally figured out to put the string lights on there, those are probably faulty for 10 years.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So there was probably more
Right,
fires.
right. Oh, yeah, for sure, right.
But an actual candle on the tree.
Back in the day, Christmas trees used to be lit up with real candles.
Until people got charged with
Right.
murder.
And and they say like a Christmas tree, if you don't water it,
it
can be flammable within like 3 days.
That's why we don't get real.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
just
mean?
to me, it's too dangerous.
You don't get real.
We don't get real.
Larry.
And I heard your dog can drink that tree water and get real sick.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And
Or
your
your kitty cat.
Right.
going
That's
and drinking
keeping it real.
Right. And let's see, 2 more facts. Merry Christmas. Wishing people a Merry Christmas. Okay. People used to argue about whether you would say Cheery Christmas or Merry Christmas. It was about 100 years ago. There was a cartoon that came out in 1916 in the Chicago Tribune, and the argument was Cheery Christmas. You should say Cheery Christmas instead of Merry. Merriment was associated with drunkenness, noise, and other bad behavior, which is eventually why Merry Christmas became a thing, because that's your chance
to party.
Right,
I like Merry Christmas, but that's funny. So it was supposed to be Cheery Christmas.
Have a cheery Christmas.
Which is non-related to any bad activity. It's just happy.
Right. Which I get that.
happy
Have a
Christmas.
cheery Christmas.
Right. No, I like Merry.
Well, that's just because we're used to it.
Right. You want to smoke a little incense and myrrh, and then you want to drink something. I like that.
Okay, and your last question, and I would have known the answer to this one, but
Okay.
Santa Claus. Let's talk about Santa and the red suit.
He's trans.
They said in an article that they're they post-dated it.
Are you getting upset?
No, it's just I just don't know if it was real or not, because I was like, oh my god, it's real. But they said carbon dating shows that Santa's real. Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that I can believe that.
Yeah.
I
You mean
believe
like
there was
they're
a guy.
real man?
There's a real Nicholas.
Yeah, right. There was a guy. I mean, it wasn't Saint Nicholas. Didn't he do stuff with kids?
No, I don't know if he did stuff
No,
with
I
kids.
mean, like,
registered.
gave them presents as a,
so there was a man.
They deserve something nice. The gifts are for Jesus, actually.
There was a man.
Like, that's the whole purpose of why you give gifts, is because, you give them to the baby Jesus. It's his birthday. And then that over time turned into, well, these kids deserve gifts. And so there was a guy, the story is Saint Nicholas.
The real Saint Nicholas.
Who gave kids that weren't even his gifts.
But I heard that the Santa Claus that everybody sees now came like from the 40s or the 30s or something like that.
Right.
No,
So
this is way older.
No, well, it came from the late 19th century, so Larry's right with what he's thinking about.
Okay, so in other words, there was probably a Santa Claus.
The original Santa Claus used to wear a tan suit. Wasn't as fat, didn't have the cute rosy cheeks.
One of those like skinny suits those cool guys
No,
wear?
it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that.
Like Joseph A. Banks. You're going to love how you look, Santa. So it was just a suit?
Yeah, like the Santa of the 1800s, he had a red or tan suit.
Huh.
Yeah, the Santa that we all know today, the guy that shows up with
At the
the
mall.
full white hair with
Right.
the red suit.
Wasn't he an invention of the 40s where they were like, this is what he looks like?
He was an invention from Coca-Cola.
Shut up.
He is the Coca-Cola Santa, and an ad came out in the 1930s that put him with the rosy cheeks, drinking the Coca-Cola,
So
red
are you
suit.
saying Coca-Cola invented Santa?
No, Coca-Cola invented the look of Santa that we all recognize.
They invented the marketing.
Yes, and you know what's crazy is my family, my mother's family, they were Coca-Cola distributors for the whole north
Your
half
family
of...
was Coke dealers?
Yes.
Well, no wonder you did so well.
For the whole, like, northern upstate region of New York. My family, they were one of the first to have cars and stuff, so they were like...
Wow.
They were, like, the first to bring Coca-Cola and stuff up. So my mom and stuff, they literally have Coca-Cola Santa dolls, like original ones from way back in the day. And he's the happy,
See
jolly...
how much that's worth right now, man.
We'll see you on
And-
Antique Roadshow.
Here's the hilarious thing. The Coca-Cola Santa doll, he came with a little bottle of Coke, right? Totally adorable. But you can open up the bottle, and it's a lighter.
What?
So they gave Coca-Cola dolls out back in the day.
That's how
that
many people smoked back in the day.
Technically
Like,
was
even
holding
kids smoked cigarettes.
Technically holding a lighter.
Yeah. That's so insane. Okay, so from what I remember hearing, Coca-Cola originally had cocaine in it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
So your family was drug
Right,
dealers.
right.
That's why Santa's cheeks were all rosy and his nose is all red.
There are also rumors that they also did help move alcohol through the region. 'Cause,
Wow.
you know,
Your
they
family?
because they were
Okay.
runners. Yeah.
Coke and alcohol.
Right.
That shows you the power of marketing.
Yes.
It's like one company changed how everybody perceives Santa Claus.
Yeah, right. Like,
Thank God
he
Pepsi
might
didn't
be-
get it, or he would have been in a blue suit.
Totally, right?
Right.
Because, like, you know, like, whether he might be African American Santa or Asian Santa, but at the end of the day, he still is wearing the red suit with the white old guy beard and stuff, the big belly. That is from Coca-Cola.
That's insane.
Yeah, totally. That's marketing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember Megan Kelly was hosting on Fox News, and some kid had written a letter about that there was this debate in his school of whether Santa was white or black because he went to a predominantly black school or something like that.
Right, he can be anything.
Right, but Megan Kelly was like, I assure you, Jeremy, Santa's white.
No.
I was like,
What? And
that's
she-
why people don't like you.
And she goes on to get $1 million deal? Come
right,
on.
for sure.
How can you exclude like that?
Right. Santa's whatever
if-
you want him to be.
Exactly.
Kind of like Jesus. You know what I mean?
For real. Right. How did he stay that white when he was over there? Are you kidding me?
Now that I know it's from Coca-Cola, I'm really torn.
No, don't
You know what
be.
I mean, I understand it, but it's like, I love that whole image of Santa.
You just shattered it for me.
No,
It's
no,
like
no,
finding
right,
out
it's
that
okay.
Santa's
The
not
image
real
of
or
you-
something.
It's exactly
okay.
what you just said. That image of Santa is really nice.
Right. And I didn't have Christmas growing up, so you didn't ruin anything.
Right.
It's all new to me. I love it.
And now,
All tea, all shade, hunty.
Celebrity Trash Batch with Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
Can I get an amen up in here? Sponsored by the Mike Sawyer Law Firm. Call 303 Good Law. Here's Kathie J.
All right, so Jay-Z's Trayvon Martin docuseries has ignited a huge feud.
Wait, docuseries? What's that on?
So he has a
Trayvon Martin.
docuseries coming up saying...
Well, I know what it's on, but I mean, like Netflix?
what
Or is
channel?
it, yeah.
Doesn't really say where it is. This is what it is, though, so you'll know when it comes, wherever it hits. Rest in Power, the Trayvon Martin story, follows the life and legacy of Trayvon Martin. The timely project, like many documentaries, include Whose Streets, has drawn much-needed attention to social injustice. Also, a peripheral feud between Snoop Dogg and George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman was the one acquitted of the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin.
Right, the arrogant jerk who just kept wanting to be in the news and being so controversial. What an idiot.
And then even after all that went down, you realize he was a D-bag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, total.
Tenfold.
And now we're learning he's still a D-bag. He threw in his 2 cents about the docuseries in a recent interview, saying that he would beat Jay-Z and feed him to an alligator after claims that executive producer Michael Gasparo and the production team behind the documentary harassed the family for interviews and footage. He also said, I know how to handle people who blank with me. I have since February of 2012.
What a jerk.
Snoop took to Instagram to respond to Zimmerman and his threats, defending Jay-Z, and that if one hair was touched on his head, the revolution would be televised. Snoop then went on to criticize the system and called Zimmerman that bitch ass. Rest in Power was picked up earlier this year for 2018 relaunch of Spike as the Paramount Network. There you go. So
okay, so it'll probably end up on Netflix or HBO or something, you know.
How funny is this? Originally, he teamed up with the Weinstein Company for the 6-part docuseries, but since that scandal broke, the name's been removed from Rest in Power along with other Paramount Network projects, and now he's got a new buyer, and so we'll see it in 2018.
Rest in Power, baby.
Yeah, totally, right? Rest in Power. So we have also, speaking of Weinstein, man, that pig. There's a new BBC show coming out on him, a documentary that the BBC's doing on him.
Great. So It's like they beat us to the punch, and it's our pervert.
Right, totally. And how often does that happen?
Right.
Yeah, so they have a feature-length documentary about the sex scandal that engulfed Hollywood.
You know, sometimes they can get more done because they're over there and they're kind of from a different vantage point.
Yeah.
Because when people start doing it here, then it's like, oh, you know, he knows him. Can you not do this? And let's not do this.
Exactly. There's too many connections, but maybe over there's some more people that go,
his wife, this could ruin her career.
Yeah.
Right.
The film, which has the working title Weinstein, will aim to bring fresh insights and revelations to the story of his rise and fall, as well as what he did to the some 90 women who are now talking. Who knows how many aren't.
Man, I wish I was just like, would have known all this was going down, and I could have morphed into a hot blonde chick at Fox News and spun that into like a $20 million payday.
Right? And now you'd be just living, laughing on some Caribbean beach.
Well, and the thing is, actually, to be honest, not Megyn Kelly, the one that I wrote back and forth Gretchen Carlson.
Yes.
She got like 20-some million, but she's now turned into an advocate for stuff like this.
Oh, good.
Which is kind of cool.
That is cool. So does she even work for Fox anymore?
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
She took her 20-some million and took off.
And she's living happy on the beach.
Right.
So Weinstein, has a lot of women who, have, accused him. Selma Hayek is the latest who said that he sexually harassed her, threatened to kill her. Ashley Judd was one of the actresses who said that he asked for the erotic massages, wanted to be watched showering. Well, Harvey Weinstein has told somebody that he never blackballed Ashley Judd because she never worked, and all of us wondered, how is somebody so successful and cute as an actress all of a sudden just fall off the map like that?
Right. It was her, and there was
Mira Sorvino.
They both literally went out of his way to make sure they didn't work.
The director of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, is actually the one who made the revelation to them and apologized to them, actually.
Right. So so Weinstein tried to say, I wanted Ashley Judd for Good Will Hunting. I wanted her to do that Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon. Remember,
Ben
it was who's the Mini Driver?
Oh, Mini Driver.
Got
the
it.
British girl.
So, in regards to what Wiggins just said, Peter Jackson is rebuking Harvey Weinstein's denial on Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino. He is saying that, he did blackball him. He even blackballed him from being cast in Lord of the Rings, his movies. He chimed in and said that Weinstein's denial was insincere and that here it is. His denial is insincere. He's basically saying that this blacklisting couldn't be true because New Line cast the movie. That's a deflection from the truth. In the 18 months we developed Lord of the Rings at Miramax, we had many casting conversations with Harvey, his brother Bob, and the executives.
So what you're saying is Ashley Judd was supposed to be Gandalf.
Yes. Many conversations occurred internally regarding potential casting. Morgan Freeman.
Hello, this is Morgan Freeman.
David Bowie.
I play a baked potato.
David Bowie would have been good with the elves.
Oh, no, for sure.
Totally.
And Ashley Judd could have been with the elves ladies.
Totally. Liam Neeson.
I'm going to come in there, and you're going to get in your little elf bed, and I'm going to come in there and take your big feet, your hairy feet, and I'm going to shave them.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Those are some of the names discussed for possible roles, right? And amongst the names, Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino, he said, in fact, we met with Ashley Judd and discussed 2 possible roles with her. And after the meeting, we were told by Miramax to steer clear of both Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino because they claim to have had bad experiences with these actresses in the past.
Whoa. And to put it on them when you were perving out on them.
Totally.
Wow.
So it's true. So they were blackballing and, whatever. And you just, and then you start thinking that, well, you know what I heard? I heard that they're difficult to work with. And then all of a sudden it starts spreading on the internet. 20 years later, the actresses still don't have jobs.
Plus, they took a really cool, positive phrase that Kathie used to love, and they made it into something negative.
Black.
Bald.
Mira Sorvino responded on Twitter after all this, and she said, just seeing this, Peter Jackson's comments after I woke up, I burst out crying.
She's like, my rent's due. I haven't had a job in 20 years.
She won an Oscar and then fell off the map.
She says, there it is, confirmation that Harvey Weinstein derailed my career, something I suspected but was unsure. Thank you, Peter Jackson, for being honest. I'm just heartsick.
Well, and then I'm sorry, her and Ashley Judd have a lawsuit. You know what I mean?
No, for real. Like, you keep somebody from potential earnings, especially Mira Sorvino with an Oscar.
Right.
Yeah, like, you're going to get sued for sure. You can't.
Right.
Okay. So, over the weekend, Last Jedi, Larry.
Don't give
I'm not giving anything away.
But
Okay, I'm just going to say this.
No.
I'm going to give one spoiler alert.
No.
Okay.
Chewbacca is gay.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. He goes to a gay bar. It's really weird. Oh, yes.
Well, it was number one over the weekend. Did you try to do that again? Do that again.
You get to see Chewbacca's lipstick in the movie. It's so gross.
Yeah.
It was just out.
His red rocket?
Yeah.
Right. Don't ever say that again.
Okay, well, let me just say really quick.
Okay.
Loved it. I'm not going to overhype it, not going to underhype it. Just loved it.
All right, stop there.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, stop there.
Oh,
Okay.
No, you just ruin things. I'm sorry.
Some I've read some like, goo, that didn't make sense there. There's some people that have like 4 issues with something in the movie. I haven't seen it yet. But I will tell you this. The film has made $450 million worldwide since it's opened last Wednesday.
Well, the comedian that was here said it best. What was the...
Nick Guerra.
Yeah,
he said that nerds that go see the Star Wars movie, when it first starts, they're like, oh my God, nerding out.
Right, you hear the music.
Right, and they're all nerded out. But then after the movie, they're all, well, I don't know about that thing, and I don't know about that. And that's exactly what happened when we were leaving. So I heard the nerds going, I don't know. And they were hemming and hawing, you know.
But you're a nerd.
And I liked it.
Okay.
Right.
And a lot of other people still liked it. It's still holding with a 93% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. There was, there's always, like, some things that you can, like, roll your eyes at in any movie.
Yeah, right.
And, like, sometimes with these alien movies, including Star Trek or all of them, sometimes when they bring, like, little aliens, it's going to be either comical or an eye roll.
Are you talking about the Borg?
No. I'm just talking about, like...
Porg.
No, it was the Borg.
Oh.
But no, I'm talking about, like, in Star Trek when there's, like, a blue man, you know, or, a green lady.
Right.
I'm like, really? It's like... But... if done right, you know, it works.
Okay.
So, like, but there was I had, like, a couple tiny eye roll moments, but overall, loved it.
The comedy was good? Was there too much comedy?
No. It was just super dope and raw, and it was, like, back to the regular kind of format, but there was twists.
Good.
And
so it was kind of like The Force Awakens.
Right, and exactly. And there's characters that are conflicted, so you're conflicted.
Oh, good.
So there's, like, parts of the movie where you're like, Kylo Ren, you're dope, dude. Like,
stop.
Oh.
Okay. So 58% of the Last Jedi.
Oh, what? You're mad at me?
I try to zone you out when you talk about movies.
We all try to zone you out, so we want to protect everybody.
So fine, I'll just go in a closet and talk to myself about it.
Please.
Like you already did over the weekend. 58% of the Last Jedi domestic audience was male. 62% of the audience was over the age of 25.
I'm sorry, reserving tickets was the best way to go. Because of all the Star Wars movies, you've always had to wait in long lines.
True.
It's always been a nightmare. And reserving tickets at a theater, there was not a line. People just came in as they came in.
Yeah.
It was
not to go too far off, but I saw this on, I think, the Everyday Show, how there's movie theater seats with that move now.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome for Star Wars. And I look
totally.
like
the theater actually, and they can, like, if the rain can drop down on you, if you're in a rainy part.
Right, I've always thought about that. Like, that's kind of like how they do when you go to A Bug's Life at Disney and stuff like that.
Right.
They make it real immersive.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so is Diddy going to own the Carolina Panthers?
I have audio of it, so warning, I'm sorry, I don't believe he's going to cuss in this, but he did do an Instagram post last night about this very thing, so
he can afford it.
So before you say that, Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson says he's putting the team up for sale at the end of the season. And that he said it the same day the NFL started investigating him.
Oh, wow.
For sexual harassment.
Okay, so now Diddy. He's
wait a
weighing
minute.
in on the Panthers sale.
Real quick, who did he harass? That guy, the guy
Who
that
knows?
owns the team.
Who knows?
I mean, was it like
Probably
coworkers?
someone that worked there.
Okay.
Alleged misconduct in the workplace, including reported cash settlements for 4 employees.
Okay, so he's a toucher guy.
He's a toucher.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all right.
Wow, that's crazy that, like, even, I mean, he's 80-something, so I get why he's like, oh, let's sell it. I want to go touch
I can
ladies on
see
the
that-
ocean.
I can see that, too. He's been the owner since 1993. He bought it for $206 million back then.
Probably worth 3 times that.
As an expansion team, so, yeah. He probably,
He wants to go with all the other rich guys into international waters
So
Right.
and touch whoever they want.
Here's Diddy.
I don't hear him.
Okay, y'all, this just in breaking news. The North Carolina Panthers, okay? North Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
He's showing it, Panthers up for sale. He's showing the contract.
I believe it's time to turn the franchise over to new ownership. Well, I need to send a message out to everybody in the beautiful state of North Carolina.
Talk faster.
Yeah, I know.
will be the best NFL owner that you can imagine.
Put up the money, then.
I will immediately address the Colin Kaepernick situation.
See, he better be careful.
Put him in the running for next year's starting quarterback. It's just competition, baby. It's just competition. But also, I will have the best halftime show, the best selection of music.
True.
That's if you make
and
it
we
to the
will
Super Bowl.
win Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Okay, y'all.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
He took my line and pausing.
I think that he could actually do it. You know what I mean? Like he has.
Yeah.
But you have to get approved by a bunch of people.
Yeah,
You know what
there's
I mean?
a lot of board members and stuff,
Right.
and it's going to be, if you got $1 billion.
Yeah, then we'll
right.
talk.
Bad boy, baby.
Right.
The Blazin' Hit Radio Christmas Wish. Hey, Kimberly, it's Larry and Kathy. We have your friend Taylor on the line. Can you hold on?
Sure.
Hey, Taylor, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so we have you and Kimberly on the line. Kimberly, Taylor wrote us a letter to our Christmas wish, and we were wondering if we could read it to you.
Sure.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
So, Taylor wrote in, Dear Blazin' Hit Radio Christmas Wish. Unfortunately, this year I have someone that I would like to nominate for your Christmas wish. I say unfortunately because every year I listen, and I was always grateful that I didn't have anyone, but this year I do. Kimmy is one of my closest friends, and her family has recently been struck by tragedy. On November 14th, Kimmy's husband, Elias, went missing. Elias is a veteran, a former enlisted Marine that has struggled with PTSD and depression. Elias clocked out of work that day and no one has seen him after that. Almost 2 weeks later, Elias's truck was found in Idaho Springs with no sign of him. A full search and rescue was started but was fruitless, and then it was suspended. A week later, unfortunately, Elias was found by his brother. Elias's struggles with mental illness got the best of him, and he took his own life. Kimmy has always truly been a bright light to everyone. She is the most caring, strong, generous person that I've ever met. Kimmy does haircuts for the homeless every week. She is very active in church, and she also volunteers. She also has 3 children, 3 boys. 2 are in high school, and 1 is in elementary school, and she has raised them impeccably. They are the most compassionate and gentlemanly young men that I have ever met. I can't imagine having to go through this, let alone through the holidays. I know that without income, she might struggle financially and also not be able to get to work herself. I would love to be able to bless her with maybe some Christmas gifts for the boys, possibly some groceries to help feed them. Anything would lighten their hearts and make it a little bit better this difficult time of year. Kimmy, you are my strength, and I love you so much. Taylor.
Wow. Thank you, Taylor. You're welcome. I love you. I love you too.
Well, we and the Green Solution were moved by the letter. We want to grant this Christmas wish, and so we want to start out by making
Just saying,
sure.
we just want to start by saying we're
sorry.
sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody always kind of looks past mental issues because they're something you can't see sometimes, and they're just as important as every other issue, a physical issue anybody can have. So I just want to bring awareness to that. But we wanted to make sure that you didn't have to worry about the boys, and we're going to get them a Christmas present each. So something nice, so you don't have to stress about, what are we going to get the boys, okay?
Oh, thank you so much.
And we also want the four of you to go out and just have a good time. Spend time together as a family. And there's no better place to do that than Dave & Buster's.
For sure. That'll be a great distraction for you guys because there's lots of blinking lights and noises and sounds and drinks.
For sure. And their games and stuff have come a long way.
And their food's amazing.
Yes, they have a Pac-Man the size of a wall.
Right.
We want you guys just to go and just laugh again.
Oh, they would love that. Thank you. Thank you.
And last but not least, we definitely want to give you a $200 gift card to a superstore so you can get the things that you need, for Christmas and stuff like that, okay?
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful.
Oh, for sure. We just wanted to make sure that you guys had some distraction for the holidays, okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Where are y'all calling from again?
Blazin Hit Radio, Larry and Kathie and Wiggins.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our own radio station now, so we wanted to continue our Christmas wish tradition, and we were just, moved by your letter.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate it. Of course, I just wanted to lighten the load a little bit, and I've been thinking about you every day, and I'm just... I just want you guys to ease your hearts a bit. Well, you did. Thank you. It is going to be a very difficult Christmas. I know. I just wanted to make it a tiny bit easier.
Kimberly, I personally, I just have to tell you how amazing and brave and strong you are. I can't imagine raising 3 boys. And if your husband, Elias, he obviously was gone for a lot of those upbringings. If he was a Marine and you were doing it on your own, and then he came home, and it was probably very difficult to try to help him and see what you could do. And I know that you yourself have really been through it, but I just want you to know that I admire you, and I'm proud of how strong you are, and you just keep hanging in there and keeping your head up for those guys, okay?
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
The Blazin' Hit Radio Christmas Wish. Brought to you by The Green Solution. Blazin' Hit Radio.
Good morning, you guys.
Now with more us.
You rock.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
I just love you both.
303-728-3420. Hit us up anytime on the Yolo Rome phone line. You can call or text. Who's this?
It's Ryan.
Ryan, where are you calling from, man?
Calling from Brighton, Colorado.
Happy Monday, if that's a thing.
Happy Monday to you guys as well.
What's up, man?
Oh, not much. Just got great news last night that my partner's going to be home for Christmas.
Oh,
Yay!
Nice. Where's he coming from?
He just got done being over in the Middle East, over near Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
He's in the Air
That's the
Force,
best
so.
news.
Yeah, that's awesome. So was it up in the air whether or not he was going to be able to make it home, or?
Yeah, it was. He wouldn't have known until this week, and he just found out and told me last night. So
damn it, he should have called
happy
us.
He's gonna be home.
He should have called
I
us,
know.
and then we could have done that whole thing where they surprise somebody. I love those videos.
Yes.
Where the kids are in the gym and they don't know their dad's.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, those are the best videos ever.
Or when they come home and their dog remembers them.
Oh my God, those are awesome. Yeah, you have to jump on him, lick him, and do circles around him.
Oh, for sure.
When will
I'm just excited he's going to be here.
So
He'll be here Friday night.
Friday night. So he's already making his way over here, right? Don't they have to get here and then go somewhere before they can actually see their family?
Yep, he's got to get stationed in Kansas first, get situated, and then he'll be right out here.
Yay!
So at what point will you be ready for him to walk in the door? Like you'll be in the sling. There'll be oh
my God.
There'll be a whip.
Wow.
There'll be some music playing. You'll never find a love like mine. Someone who loves you. Yeah. So I'm just seeing it very romantic.
Yeah, everything except for the whips and chains.
Okay. So that is a yes on the sling. Okay, I knew it.
So when will that be happening?
Friday.
Friday. So
You'll never find.
as soon as he walks in, you're not even going to let him say hi to the rest of the family.
A butt like mine.
Yay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's really cool. Congratulations. We're really happy to know that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of cool when somebody calls in, that's of our ilk, and kind of like, it's just the gay in the military thing was such an issue for so long, and now that it's not an issue,
and they still fight and they still serve our country despite what happens in Washington or what little internal beef is going on.
They're
They still sacrificing and protecting our freedom. Exactly.
Right. Well, we're just happy that you're a proud spouse of a proud military member.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the best. That's the best Christmas gift.
Be an American. Yeah, one, that they're safe. Two, that they're finally home. Amen to that.
Yeah, sometimes I'd be like, if they got home safe, I'd be like, all right, you can't leave.
Yeah,
we have to
exactly.
figure
I
this
wouldn't
out.
want you
How
to
do we
leave.
get out of this?
Right.
Oh, you already committed. Well, thank him for us, okay?
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, you guys have a great morning.
You too.
You too, man. Happy holidays.
Send a video clip of your reunion.
All right, will too.
Bye.
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 It's funny, when he first called, he was like, my partner, you know what I mean? And sometimes for like me, it's still just hard for me to naturally say my husband.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like husband and wife has been like such a straight titles for so long.
Totally.
So even like when we were Chris's parents' service, people were coming up and they're like, Paul's dad was like, oh, this is
Chris's
Larry's
dad.
Yeah.
Chris's dad, Paul.
Paul says,
Right.
oh, this is Larry, this is Chris's, friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's
right.
still a struggle, you know, it's still early, you know what I mean? So
especially for those Cajuns in the deep
for
South.
sure. And there was like those ladies
This right
that I told,
here is his
Right.
partner.
Right. I think we just
our business partner, your partner, your law firm partner, your cowboy partner,
right. Giddy up.
Yeah, and those two ladies that came up, and I was like, I'm Chris's husband, and they were like, he's married to Shar. Like that doesn't even rhyme. But whatever.
Chris.
Right.
Right.
I think between the wish that happened and then that guy who just called about his partner and soldier, it's a huge. You just got to give much love to everyone who's ever served, man. Because
Absolutely,
it's so,
and their families.
Yeah, their families. They sacrifice so much, and it's like they do it so selflessly, and then it's like to go out there. And put up with what they put up with. They do have, I don't want to say it's PTSD. It's not a mental thing, but it is a mental
real.
thing.
I've seen it. I've seen it when it rears its ugly head in person. It's horrible that someone has to suffer like that, and that we're not giving them the proper help once they're home.
Right, for sure. And it's like, gay people serving in the military the whole time, and it's like, once that weight was lifted off, and then now all of a sudden it's kind of like the same thing with the trans.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, we can't have them in there. It's like they're serving just as bravely, serving their positions and doing their thing, and within the ranks of everybody, it's not a big issue if somebody's gay now, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like sometimes you want a lesbian manning that gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn
you
it.
know what? If they want to put their life on the line, who am I to say no?
Right.
I say thank you.
No,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't do some of that stuff out. There's no way.
it's
I would
amazing.
be like, oh my God, I gotta go.
Basic training, I would have sorry, I opted out.
Right.
You can't opt out.
When do we get a shower? When's the shower with everyone in the base?
And if Wiggins is asking for a shower, then
no, I'm saying what Larry's saying. I
Don't
ain't
put
saying
that on me. Don't
Larry be
project.
wanting to shower.
Don't
Yeah,
project.
I thought you meant you were stinky
No.
from all of the work.
I don't-
now.
I
I
thought
don't
he was
shower.
finally going there.
No, we know I don't shower. Why would I want to shower with people?
Right, that's
I thought he was
true.
going to go, we know I don't go there. He didn't say that. He was like, we know I don't shower.
We know I
People.
don't shower. That was the thing when I was all sick. Kay was like, she's so funny. She'll go out of town and she'll like take a hot shower. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, don't just say okay and not do it. I was like, oh, that's my wife. I was like, she knows
she's
everything
fine.
about me. No, she's back home now. She
doesn't know about the incident?
What incident?
incident.
Oh, come on. Give him his privacy.
Oh, okay.
The incident.
Where you ruined the bedding.
Oh, God.
And I didn't ruin the bedding. I ruined my shorts.
Okay, fine. We've all been there. I mean,
Oh,
it
my
happens.
God.
It's a wet dream.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it
God,
wasn't
don't
that.
say
It was
that.
the other end. It was when you send a test balloon out.
I don't want to hear either.
It wasn't
like a dye pack.
It was a cough.
It's unfortunate.
And it was a cough,
right.
and then it
involuntarily.
and then have to go. And then I was like, and then I had to like slide out of bed, squeezing my cheeks together, and waddle to the dresser.
That makes him more human.
Yeah.
He's a real guy.
Who doesn't?
Who's really sick? Who's just sharded? Okay, whatever.
Come on, Kathy, you've sharded. You know you have. Don't act like you're.
We just don't talk about it.
Reveals nothing.
Well, on this show, we reveal everything. That's how this goes.
Kathy smells like roses when she farts.
Absolutely. Just ask my husband.
Right. He's all dead roses in old flower water.
Okay, that's enough.
All right. Let's transition to
anything.
Let's transition.
To anything. What do you got?
So text the word wish to 303-728-3420. A lot of people have been asking how they can help and how they can contribute to help us grant these wishes. The Green Solution's helping out, but a lot of people want to know what they can do. So if you text that, you'll get a link back to our GoFundMe account, and we use all of those funds. We don't keep any of that. It all goes towards the wishes.
100%.
Right. And it's like, some people are moved by a wish and they're like, oh, I want to help that family, which we can actually make happen. However, it's just we can grant more wishes if you go to the GoFundMe. You know what I mean? That just allows us to answer more wishes, get more toys out and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, big shout out right now to Jamie, who just sent us in a picture. He said, good morning to my favorite morning show team. I served proudly for 3.5 years. Thank you.
Damn, look at that picture of him.
Got injured on my second deployment and got out. Struggle with PTSD on a daily basis. Love you guys. So
we love you, Jamie.
As long as people are aware that they're suffering from it, I think that's the hardest part. Is years ago, a lot of people didn't know what they were coming back with, and you're just
seeing things, hearing things, anxiety, and you were supposed to deal with it.
People would be like, "Oh, just tough it out, you'll be fine."
Yeah, you can't. We need to give help to these people.
Our high school. Go ahead.
Well, no, and the thing is, we the first purchaser of marijuana in the state was Sean Azaridi, who suffers from the same
PTSD.
thing. And so he's found that has really helped his PTSD. So, a lot of people are going that route versus the pharmaceutical route where it's going to have adverse effects. It's way more natural.
I had a high school teacher who told us this and this story, and it was like, I forget what it's called now. It's like La Fiesta, but it was on it was right by your house, Kathy. Literally right by your house.
Okay.
It was 88th in Washington.
Okay. The Mexican place?
The Mexican place. But it used to be another nightclub there, right?
Okay.
And so in the 70s, early 80s, or whenever Vietnam War ended, he came back and he went out there, and it was his first night back, and he's partying, and he's hitting on some guy's wife. Doesn't know it's this guy's wife. So the guy
he's just happy to be back.
He's just happy to be back. The guy ends up picking a fight with him in the parking lot and says, "Hey, you hit on my wife." So the teacher just gets into his car because he's back from Vietnam.
He just got back.
Right. He just survives everything, right?
Gets into his car, reverses into the guy.
Damn.
It kind of hits him, and then just goes home and went to bed. And he said he's laying in bed, and then all of a sudden, 4 cops from Thornton kicked in the door and arrested him. They ended up letting him go because of PTSD, and he just got back and all that stuff. But the story traumatized me as a kid because I was like, "Oh my god!"
Don't ever. Wiggins is like, "I'm never gonna not turn in my homework to this guy. Make sure it's on time. It's done right.
Exactly.
He's down.
No, I was not his favorite student. The teachers either loved me or hated me.
All the people
he did not. He did not like me.
So this was a lesson in white privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was.
No, I'm just saying. Back in the day, you could just do whatever.
No.
Nowadays, you try to cops bust down your door, you could easily get shot.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Seriously.
Right.
So anyway,
some of my cousins have PTSD, and it's hard. It sucks. It hurts my heart when I'm around them.
One of the winners that went to Vegas had that. Remember, we went to Vegas, and the Treasure Island cannons were going off.
It was too much for him.
He had to move his room.
Yeah, and he was freaking out on that. So it's just, man, thank you for all the soldiers that put up with that.
Yes, and please start believing if someone around you is saying they have it, it's real.
Right, for sure. And you got to be aware of things like those things, like loud noises or sudden movements. And,
right, like even out in public, like the Freedom Service dogs. Like I've met a bunch of soldiers through Freedom Service dogs and the dogs that they get.
Right.
And those dogs, like one of the dogs is literally taught to, the guy comes home, the dog must go through the entire house first and do a search through it to make sure nobody's in it, just to give the guy the ease of anxiety as he goes in there.
Right.
And it's just crazy what they do and how they help.
Those dogs are awesome.
Yes.
They they can calm a person down in a crowded area.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? They can bring them peace. And
they also were like a wall of space.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have the dog with you and stuff, these people tend to give you some space.
Right,
and
right. Oh, hey, that dog's coming.
That alone helps
Right.
him with the anxiety of all the people around him.
For sure.
Well, and a lot of people, I mean, marijuana helps with PTSD too. Like Larry was saying that. Sean Asbury bought it, and it's like people are quick to dismiss it and think that marijuana is, people are just getting high off it, but there's amazing benefits.
My cousins and friends that are suffering with PTSD all.
But you got to get the right stuff, otherwise you will get paranoia.
No, for sure.
You
Right, you gotta have the right stuff.
Don't get the wrong stuff.
But I'd rather have that than pills that are going to make you. Now, this is going to affect your liver, and that's going to affect that.
Right. The picture of him that he sent.
Of Jamie.
Yeah. It's like, it would be so hard to be in such like a hot area, and it's not your customs and everything like that. And so now you're meeting the regular people, and they're like, come in, eat something. And you're like, oh, okay, but that upset my stomach. And now you're just like, I got sand everywhere. And it's like...
Have either of you seen 90 Day Fiancé? It's on TLC. Okay, so it's literally these...
That's what you're wasting your time on, is
so
watching 90 Day Fiancé?
It is so good. It's from people from other countries trying to come to America, and they meet a person from America, and they want to...
So a big, fat, gross dude can finally get his hot German wife.
Exactly.
Is that what it is like?
Yes, exactly like that. Well, some of them are different. Like this one's a big, fat, ugly woman who's trying to get a guy from Morocco, and this guy from Morocco is all in shape, and he's like, I want to come to America. So it's really weird. But
so who sets them up?
It's they find each other, and TLC just follows them.
Yeah.
They already...
This is like where you can buy a bride kind of thing?
Kind of.
Well, they don't put it out there, but it's, hey, I'll help you come to America.
Yeah, and you have 90 days. It's called 90 days because it's the law. You have 90 days to get married. So if they come here to the States,
they
have 90 days.
to bond in 90 days.
Yeah. You have to bond in 90 days, and then you get married. And if you don't get married, they go back to their country. So you literally,
crap.
So this heifer, she goes out to Morocco. She drives me nuts. Okay,
like 600-pound life. Okay,
close to it.
Wow. Okay,
and it's to the point where the guy tells her, he's all, "You're lazy. You're just lazy." He's all, "You're fat and lazy," and he just calls her out.
That's not going to work out.
No, she loves him. It's so weird.
Okay,
and so
he saw a picture before he came, or no?
Yeah, he saw a picture, and then she came out.
She took it from Google Earth, and so he's like, "Well, you look very small in comparison to the planet."
So when she went to Morocco, she had to meet part of his family, right? So they were all probably laughing at him, like, "You're an idiot."
Maybe cows are sacred to them.
Okay.
So
you have to adorn her with flowers. And
he tries to take her into, I guess they're taking a day trip or whatever, which just involves them having to walk in the desert.
I'm already in on this show, by the way.
So she's already over it. So another day goes by, and so she has to eat his food. And this is a woman who loves her food. Okay, so
she makes it a point about loving food, or you could just
tell.
I mean, you don't get to be that big without loving food.
Because she's lazy. She's lazy and she likes food. Okay, and so. They feed her this food, and they're all, "You have to eat my family's food," and so they bring it to the table, and it's a goat head split open, but it was like broiled, and so it was like cooked, and so he's like, "You have to eat it, don't insult my aunt," and so she's like, she refuses to eat it, but the whole point is she has to eat like their food, and it's trying to adapt to their culture and all that stuff. It's so crazy to watch.
Are there potatoes anywhere? Is there a side?
Didn't anyone make a roll of some sort, a bread?
I've seen some goats. Is there cheese? I've seen cows. Cheese.
You have to watch the show. There's another one. So to Kathie's point about a gross guy marries this girl from Taiwan, and so he's heavy set. He kind of looks like Danny DeVito in Batman Returns from the Penguin.
Okay,
so they're all, when this girl and him come back to the States, they're staying at his friend's house, and so the house that they're staying at, the brother's there, and he's like this gay guy, and so they get in a fight. This guy, the fat guy who looks like the Penguin, and the gay guy's the brother.
Okay, stop right there. Is the fat guy the American?
The fat guy's the American.
Of course. Why should I even question that? Okay.
So
the lady was.
And he's gay and going for a gay dude in
No. So the guy, they're staying at the gay guy's house.
Okay.
And so he goes off on the Penguin guy, and because the guy's drunk and he's being mean to his new wife from Taiwan. So he's all, "Look here, you fat penguin looking mofo." And It's like the funniest thing. And then he like throws a cup of water in his face. It's the most addictive show I've ever seen.
You're not
in my
alone.
entire
Everybody
life.
is hitting us up. 90 Day Fiancé Wiggins is my new addiction too. Wiggins, I love 90 Day Fiancé. The dude from Morocco was so gay.
What channel is it on?
Do you think the Morocco
TLC.
guy, the Moroccan guy, was gay?
I could see him being gay because otherwise you would not be attracted to that woman.
Well,
like
he
unless you
wasn't attracted
really
at all.
wanted to come to
like you
America.
want to just get to America and then figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
There was that made me think of when you say the short courtship or whatever. There's a documentary on Netflix and it's about Orthodox Jews. You know, the people with the little ringlets and stuff.
Yes.
That you see walking.
Right.
And they're very much just like Scientologists and Jehovah's Witness and all those other like very extreme religions that when you leave, you're out. Like they turn their back on you and your whole life was them. So that you're not allowed to make friends outside of the ringlets.
Okay.
And so this girl, she like met her husband for like one time, and then they were like, this is the guy you're gonna marry, and they sat across from each other, and then they were like, okay, then next time you see each other you'll get married. Yeah. And so this guy eventually like is a jerk, and he abuses her, so she tries to leave,
right,
and the whole community of ringlets turn on her to the point where like her 911 call, she's like, they're all like beating at my door. Like all his relatives show up and they're all like beating at the house.
What?
Like, yeah, like just for the fact that she's trying to make the dip out.
Right.
And so, yeah, it is just that is insane.
What are
You know
they?
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What are they going to show up and beat her more?
Well, no. What ends up happening is they let her go.
Okay.
And then she goes with the kids, and that's fine. And then they just outspend her every corner. So then all of a sudden, next thing you know, like they give it, she doesn't have a dime. Nobody will hire her. She has no skills, and they starve her out. And so basically, then she's not a good mom because she has no money coming in.
Support her
so
kids.
he takes the kids,
So
and now she's visitation.
That's horrible, and
right.
that has happened so much.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he can raise the kids with his mindset, so then they're obviously going to hate mom.
Right,
even though she was trying to do the right thing in the beginning.
Exactly.
Oh, that's...
but that's a whole community that turns on you. But yeah.
that's not cool.
Yeah, Netflix will get you on shows like that too. You know, they're just
all those shows get you. All those shows.
There's too many shows.
Okay, Wiggins, you just pulled up a picture. Is that the
that's
Moroccan guy?
the Moroccan guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if we can play this trailer to kind of give you a summary of what
Is
it
she
is.
supposed to be the super fat girl?
That is.
She doesn't look that bad.
She's not look that fat.
She's lazy. She's lazy and she eats bad food.
That's all.
Yeah. I was picturing way bigger and older.
Are you ready? I'm so ready. I've known Luis for 2 months, and now he's my fiance.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah, no, that was a different one. We'll find better audio and we'll play it.
Okay.
But so the heavyset girl, that's her, right?
There she is.
She has a daughter, and so she is like trying to make him the daddy. So she brings the daughter to Morocco and has him call her daddy. And then they're fighting in the aisle because in Moroccan in Muslim culture, women and the guy can't touch.
Oh, right.
And so she's like trying to rub up on him. He's like, "No, you can't touch me. You can't touch me." And it's just awkward thing. So then they start fighting in the middle of Morocco, and all these people are just like surrounding them.
That's crazy.
It's the most intense show. All right, so I'll get off this in a second. But
yeah.
one last thing happened where there was one that went to Brazil, and this is another creepy weird guy.
Okay.
And so he was fighting with this girl, and he's all, I can't marry you. You don't know who I am, and takes off and goes into the jungle and just runs away. While he runs away,
he gets
the woman is the girl.
Now that's a show.
You
Now
don't
that's
run
a
into
show.
the jungle.
The girl's standing there, and then as they're filming, the girl just standing there. She's on her phone. A guy with a machete runs up to her and says, "Give me your phone! Give me your phone!" And he's like swinging the machete around, and the camera crew's like, you see the subtitles, "He's got a machete! Run! Run!"
Give him your phone!
So you just see the camera crew like running around because they're in these terrible countries.
Horrible places.
Right, so that's how you get a phone in that country.
Yeah.
You go to somebody with a machete and you take their phone.
Fine.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh my God.
Anyway.
What is the 4 numbers to open the phone? I'm not telling you.
Anyway, you should watch that show.
Okay, I'm definitely in on that show.
You have to watch it. You'll love it.
But you had painted like a woman that I thought was eating Gilbert Grape Lady, and this girl looks like she's in her 20s.
No, you have to see her. She's lazy.
All right, fine.
You'll see her.
But
She's
Kathy said,
fat.
my 600-pound life, and you're like, pretty close. I'm
Right.
like, I don't think she was 600
That's more
pounds.
like my 260 pounds.
You haven't watched that
she's
show.
like, yeah, I can't watch it.
No, you got to watch my 600-pound
To make
life.
yourself feel better?
You're right, and intervention. Because then you're like, my drug problem's not anywhere near that.
Tell us what you're
I'm
watching.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
303-728-3420. Text, call, or give us a shout out, all from within the app.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
I love that morning show.
Now with more us.
They wake me up.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
In the morning, in the shower.
You can tell that I cut that early in the morning.
Because I'm talking like this. More us.
It's like, I don't normally talk like that.
Well, I'm sounding like that for the last week and a half, so I didn't even notice it. Larry, you said people were hitting you up on Instagram about 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, yeah, they were
responding
laughing
on that.
Yeah, they were laughing at our recap, and they say that they're super addicted to that show.
It's so good. I guess you know what, those good reality shows are the ones, like you said, Larry, that just make you feel better about yourself.
Exactly, like even Locked Up Abroad, you're like, I'm always the person that's like, rip off the drugs, put them in the trash can, get on the flight, and get out of there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to go through security.
Sweating balls.
You idiot.
Because you're like acting weird now.
Right.
And here comes that dog sniffing.
I never thought of that. They never, once you're in the airport, nobody's there. I thought that there's sometimes somebody's there still watching you.
Sometimes they are, but they put the drugs sometimes in the suitcase.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is leave the suitcase in the bathroom and go directly to get on the plane, because they're not going to kill you in the airport.
But they're not going to kill you, but isn't the whole thing that they have access to who you are and your family and
The
all
people
that?
who gave you the drugs are going to kill you.
Right.
Yeah, you're
The people you
screwed
wasted
either
their
way.
drugs,
Yeah.
right.
It depends, you know what I mean? Like, it just depends. And those people always dip out when the law steps in or comes close.
Yeah.
And they screw those people.
Right.
So there's always somebody once removed that planned the whole thing.
Well, so I found the trailer from 90 Day Fiancé. Larry, there's parts where it gives you like a wording description. Get ready for your announcer voice just to read that over. But this will give you, if you've never seen it, it's 90 Day Fiancé. This is the trailer for this season.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I've known Luis for 2 months, and now he's my fiance.
6'4".
I hope that as I could be a
Yeah,
father
that's
to May.
Stay here. May!
Plan to enter the U.S.
David
on
and
a
I have been
fiance's
saving ourselves
visa.
for marriage.
I daydream about the wedding night.
Those two are virgins.
They will have just 90 days to get married.
Completely different cultures. Where he's from,
Ah.
he expects a woman to be submissive.
Or even
Bring
leave
on
the country.
90 days. I'm ready.
Okay, the virgins are excited.
Because they're virgins.
Yeah, totally.
Can we get virgin
cheerleader on the squad?
check?
Everything here in America is big. Andre is very stubborn.
He's from Russia.
Don't feel me, come on.
Oh. That's what Lindsay Lohan went through.
Needs to do to get a United States visa. You were looking for men in America.
Yes. He's not going to take me away from you.
I just wish that this wasn't happening.
It's her daughter.
Whoa.
Giving
I'm
up
leaving
your
my
daughter
country,
for this
leaving my
guy?
family, and you don't seem to want to give up anything.
Can you just switch?
I can't do this. She's crazy.
Stop. Why does he have to be this way? I'm over here taking care of May by myself in a foreign country. He doesn't understand.
You're right. She's a fatty. No,
I told you.
Okay, why do they even think? I mean, you're paying for someone attractive to come and pretend to love you. So the word is pretend. You should. Or why are these people falling that hard?
Exactly.
That
It's like,
that makes me so sad.
well, it's like dumb guys that go to strip clubs and think those girls like them.
True.
Wait,
You know
they
what I mean?
don't?
They,
Yeah,
no,
whatever.
no.
No, but I mean, it's to a whole nother level. And the fact that mom is putting her daughter through this, like, here's your new stepdad. You know what I mean?
Right, and now we're alone in a country together.
Well, and the worst part is that a lot of these people have to get sponsored by the parents. So, or not the parents in that situation, like they're sponsoring the Moroccan for 10 years. So for 10 years,
she's been giving money to that dude.
they're legally responsible if they come over here.
Oh, they have to be married for 10 years?
Because they're responsible if they violate any crimes.
What?
If they do anything while they're out here, the people who get blamed are the ones who are their sponsors. And so because that heifer is not able to control
Quit fat shaming.
well, she doesn't have the money to pay for him because she's just a minimum wage worker. She doesn't have any.
Right.
So so the parents literally have to volunteer to take responsibility for him.
This Moroccan guy.
Yes, for the Moroccan guy.
Oh my God.
And so you're responsible for 10 years for them. So they get really involved in it.
What's funny is
hurts my heart.
In the trailer,
so sad.
She is like, in this country, she's not, where am I? And she's like blonde. So she stands out already.
She's totally
heavy.
White. Right.
And
she's
then
heavy.
They show the camera around, and all the women there have like their head covered.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, bitch, you're in trouble.
Right.
Like, first thing you better get is a scarf.
Right. Like you're sticking out like a sore
she doesn't
thumb.
do any of the culture stuff. He tries to get her to do that. She doesn't, and that's even says, you don't respect my culture, and you're lazy.
Right.
Right.
Like, so he just
be lazy, but respect the culture. Like, how do you not know that there's going to be some give and take here?
Yeah.
Right.
And so
especially on somebody that's so specific on how they believe.
Exactly.
Head covered this way.
You went to his. He didn't come to America.
Exactly.
You went there.
You can take your thing off when you get home.
So you guys gonna watch? Is
that? Watch. I hate you.
Is that like on demand where you can watch a bunch?
You can watch them all on demand. It's like TLC has their app and all that stuff. So
Can I just say I'm going to need like a babysitter for a week because my list of what I need to catch up on, I have a short amount of time to do it over break, and I now I have added this in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch the girls, but only in exchange for some sugar cookies.
Yeah, I know. We're
Christmas
gonna make
cookies
some.
with a ton of frosting.
We're
on
gonna
them.
make some.
All right, fine.
So, Larry, you wanted to talk about this over the weekend. The power went out.
Oh yeah, at the airport
In Atlanta.
It took nearly 11 hours, but the power is finally back on here at Atlanta's airport, the busiest airport in the world. That massive outage, which was caused by an electrical fire underground here at the airport, caused flights, nearly 1,200 of them, to be either canceled or delayed. 30,000 passengers were impacted, with some reports saying that they had to stay on the tarmac for up to 6, maybe even 8 hours. Others had to sleep overnight here at the airport. There were also reports of people running out of food and water.
Right, and so that's what we saw in the news was those people calling in to the news program from their plane.
Oh, I would die.
Oh my God, really?
I gotta get out of here.
Well, and so she was like, we've been on here for 5 hours. She's like, we're actually not that bad. She's like, we have AC, we have power. She's like, but they've asked us to stop using the bathrooms. So it's getting to critical levels when, it's like you've been out there for 5 hours, you can't move. And it's so frustrating because you can see the airport.
Yeah.
And in the airport is bathrooms.
Yeah, totally.
And maybe
Get
even some
something to
food.
eat, right.
Right. And
at least I can stretch my legs.
Right. So they made this law where you can't trap passengers that long or whatever. But
I thought it was like past 2.5 hours or something.
I know, but when it turns into something like this, they can't. It's all bets are off. It's just how they can get this whole thing moving. So that's why people are stuck up to 6 hours on a plane. So I had the idea, and I was talking to Christopher, my husband, who works in aviation.
Are you about to give $1 million idea away?
Yeah, probably. He does this.
But nobody's going to do this. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I was thinking that, this happens more often than not. And they're really not prepared for it. So every airport should have teams of people that have snacks boxes and plungers to suck out the toilets, and you know what I mean, like machines that come and undo the toilet and like make it.
They do. They needed to have machines. You're on the taxi. We can still go out there.
So in other words, like we don't. Everybody's at a loss. What should we do? It's like this has only happened to you a million times.
Right.
So let's get some cars and trucks. That's their sole purpose is for this thing. So.
Well, they have them. I mean, they're on wheels when they pull up to the plane at the gate.
Exactly.
So wheel them on out to the people out there on the tarmac.
Right, like apparently a plane when it's on fire gets a bunch of attention. So start it on fire on the outside.
They literally had no power, so I don't know if you're going to be able to do that in that situation. But normally that would work.
If every airport had trucks like that was ready to go for that,
then
at least the people could stay on the plane and not have to pee themselves.
I'm sorry, I had a great idea, and everyone poo-pooed it. Larry poo-pooed it about the airport.
Poo-poo it in the bathroom of the airport?
I said that there should be a movie theater in the airport. Like, because people are delayed and waiting for hours and hours that they would pay to watch a movie. But
the problem with that is, when you're waiting for hours and hours, you're usually standing near a gate to hear your name. You can't be lost in a movie, and then all of a sudden your name got called 4 times.
If your flight leaves at 4 o'clock and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you have tons of time before that layover, you could go see a movie.
But what's the percentage of that amount of people?
And everybody watches on their pad now, and they watch.
Well, your idea sucks too, Larry. All right,
fine. Well, then
no one wants to do your damn delivery service on the plane.
I don't care about you.
Maybe people want a movie delivered on their plane. You don't know.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? today, you guys just proved the point. They said today is the peak stress day of the holiday season. So everybody's going to be on edge today, no matter where you go, whether you're driving, whether you're just going to the grocery store. Remember, today's the day where everybody's going to crack. So have a little patience.
Do you want me to open the door so you can take all your clothes off and run in the intersection and start punching people's cars?
Let me get my camera ready.
Or to jump in the back
exactly.
of it. Listen to Blazin Hit Radio.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy. Come on and clap.
It's Kathie J's Stupid News.
Robbers were nice enough to share the treats at the donut shop with the customers as they were robbing it.
Well, that's nice. I mean, like, I was looking at that one maple.
Totally. So you can see a video. You have a donut shop down in Texas, Houston to be exact, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. People are in there, and all of a sudden, 3 dudes in masks walk in. One has
insane.
a gun.
A donut shop? Really? You guys couldn't think of anything better than?
You're probably thinking they don't have the cameras or something. Maybe you get in and out. The cash isn't
Nobody's
being counted.
expecting a donut shop to be robbed.
Still stupid.
Totally, right. So they steal money from the cash register, and then another one takes some of the customers' cell phones and goes, sees what they have, right?
Okay.
Then the phone bandit, the person taking the customer's cell phones, gestures towards the customers and seems to be talking to them, maybe even taking their order.
Okay, you want a donut while we're waiting here?
The person then pursues the sweets behind the counter, chooses 2 treats, and then goes back and gives them to the customers sitting by a window.
I know why he did that. Because now if they eat it, they're in on the crime.
I wonder if that's
it.
I
don't know. I mean, like, I'm not going to eat it because now I'm freaking out that you're holding this place up.
Right, and give me my phone back. I don't want the donut. Give me my phone.
And now are you taking my phone because you think it's going to be your phone now? And
they've all been arrested they're looking for them. They still haven't been caught. All 3 of them are remain at large. They fled by foot, aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon.
They took a glazed, they took a maple, and they took a chocolate raised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I prefer the raised over the cake donuts myself.
Yeah, I like raised.
I like the raised, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, although I'm not going to turn down a cake donut if it's loaded with something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's a lot of sprinkles.
How's the frosting level looking?
Right, exactly.
I'm totally with you on that.
Right.
A hippo. A hysterical video of a hippo making a very low-speed escape from the Israeli zoo.
You're lazy.
Yeah.
You're fat.
Right, that's not a hippo. That was that lady from America.
90 Day Fiance.
Okay, so it happened at a zoo in Israel. Okay. So the hippo, you see that it's at night after everything's closed down, but there's still security guards around, right?
Okay.
So the hippo, for whatever reason, however, ends up getting out of her enclosure, okay?
Whoa.
And hippos, in the water they can go pretty fast, but out of it, they take a little stroll.
Right, they're very dangerous. They can kill you in one bite.
Yes, they can crunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you see the surveillance video of all of a sudden the hippo, I don't know how, if her pen happened to be back by the back exit of the zoo, whatever. But the gates, for some reason, to the zoo are wide open.
Whoa, so she literally put on a wig and she's waiting for the bus to go meet her mail order bride, groom.
You're lazy.
Right, you're lazy. You literally see the hippo just start heading towards the open gates. There is one guard that starts to see her walk by.
And she's like, have a good day, Al. He's like, good night, Mona. And then she just walks out.
Mona. So the hippo, you see her actually walk out of the gates. Then she
closes the gate.
She takes in the sights as she
out.
ventures further and further from the zoo.
Is this 2 guys in a suit?
No, it's not. Yet, as she was on her way to, venture out and see what was out there outside the walls of the zoo, apparently she had a change of heart. And that one night shift guard yelled at her and said, "Hey, get back in here." He didn't really know what to do.
Right.
I mean, it's a hippo, for God's sake.
Right.
Well, whatever it was he said, she looked around a little, ate some of the grass, and then went back into the zoo, and he closed the doors.
Oh, that was nice.
Surprising, somehow it worked by yelling at her and saying, "Hey, what are you doing, Mona? Get back in here."
She needed the Uber app.
Her name is not Mona. She did need the Uber app, right?
Some sort of lift, like a big truck.
And finally, wow. Poisonous flowers turn a bride's wedding day into a nightmare.
Oh, God.
Oh, I saw her. She couldn't talk or anything.
She couldn't talk. She said she was the scariest looking person at her own wedding. Christine Jo Miller's eyes. They were watering on her wedding day, but they weren't because of tears of joy. The 23-year-old girl had a reaction to the flowers she picked up a day earlier.
So I put some calla lilies around some poison ivy. You'll all love it. It's great.
Not too many people think that the poison ivy flower is beautiful, but I think differently.
It's very sturdy as well.
Her white wedding dress contrasted with the red and bumpy rash all over her face. She didn't see it, though, because her eyes were swollen shut. She said she was in so much pain she thought she might go blind.
And then, by this time, the groom's like, maybe not.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Maybe.
You
look terrible.
Ooh, till death or ugliness do us part.
So she married her college sweetheart, Jonathan, and she thought, wow, you know what? Why don't I do like I did this? Grab some floral arrangements using what's here
Locally.
in the area.
Okay.
Right. So they went to a 29-acre plot of land near where they were going to be getting married and just grabbed some wildflowers.
With a bunch of fire ants and poison.
The type of flower that caught her eye was a snow on the mountain for its lovely white blooms.
Snow on the mountain covered in lace.
It's also known for being very poisonous, and since she's not from that area, she had no idea.
Edelweiss.
She went to wash her face the morning of her wedding, not realizing that the sap residue was still on her hands from doing the floral arrangements the night before.
Touched herself.
She started breaking out by 11:30 a.m. Her eyes were so swollen, her mom took her to an emergency room.
Her eyes were so swollen, she didn't see the groom leave. And thank God, because she's like, want a handy J before the big day? He's all, nah, I'm cool.
She used the flower petals on his sphincter.
No, I was saying his would have closed up. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So she still wanted to go through with the ceremony, so she walked down the aisle.
And he went,
feeling absolutely terrible. She
Right?
said,
He lifts up the veil. Like, she doesn't even see him until he lifts up the veil.
No, he kisses her with the veil on.
She said she literally couldn't see her husband when she was saying her vows because her vision was blurry. So blurry.
And the priest is all, are you sure?
Are you
Are you
sure?
100 on this?
So blurry, in fact, she passed out twice during the reception.
Whoa. That was it. He had 2 shots to get out of there.
Yes.
That was his window.
She forgot to wear shoes at the wedding, and it was in the forest. Her veil fell out twice while walking down the aisle because she couldn't see to put it in the first place.
That's hilarious.
They forgot their rings. Their wedding song didn't play. Well, a lot went wrong.
And everybody got food poisoning from whatever they ate.
And the pastor cut it short and married him in a hurry because of all the pain she was in.
Plus, he didn't want to get what she had.
Get me out of here.
Right? Like, nobody touch her.
Right, and then the priest left with the groom.
Oh, my God. She's a beautiful girl, though.
Was.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Better music.
Less commercials.
More Larry and Kathie.
All right, so Christmas is just around the corner.
It's a week from today. Yay! We're looking at Christmas cookies.
I've
everywhere.
always, since I worked at Target when I was 16, 17 years old, I would wait till Christmas Eve to do any shopping. And I'm kind of in that situation again right now.
Right.
Oh my God, dude, you're going to wait till this weekend?
I just wait till, well, and
so are you the guy that goes to Walgreens and grabs whatever gift baskets been put together for you?
It is kind of whatever's left.
Oh, God.
I don't know. But I don't think we're doing gifts this year. We didn't really, I don't think we're doing gifts this year. I hope not.
No, at a certain
That's
point,
what I've been thinking.
I thought you guys already did some sort of gifts. Like
I think we did.
She got another ring.
No, that was in order for me to get my PlayStation virtual reality set. I had to get
that wasn't your early Christmas present, the virtual reality set?
No, I didn't get that.
But didn't you? Well, you know what you got to do is you make it about the kids, like your nephews.
Yeah,
it's about the kids. We got to get the kid stuff.
Yeah, we got him. She got him something. She got him a little chair.
To me, that's who matters most in this whole Christmas thing is Avery and Gianna because they're the only kids that I know.
Right.
And so, yeah, like
I used to be the kid before them.
Oh yeah,
you were
spoiled everything.
You were
used to believe in Santa.
Totally.
Until I was 30.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you wanted a PlayStation, Uncle Larry would have got it for you.
Not anymore. You got a hairy ass. Buy your own PlayStation.
You're old now.
He doesn't like that I shart.
Yeah. Nobody does.
Nobody does. Anyway, the girls, are they buying into the you be good because Santa's watching things?
Yes.
Oh,
for a minute there, it was hard to get Avery on board.
Okay.
Right. And then the elf on the shelf showed up at my mom's house.
Okay.
Tony is his name. Tony. And then,
your mother's living with a man named Tony.
So then there's that stupid cartoon the Elf on the Shelf cartoon, and it teaches you how the elf flies home and reports back to Santa and blah, blah, blah. So I'm rolling with that.
Okay,
You know,
so
like Tony knows if you're being bad or good. Santa's always watching.
Okay.
He's getting the reports.
Right.
So she's finally catching on.
Okay.
Right. Like,
so, do I need to call? Do I need to be like, how's everything going?
Oh, no, we're going to do a Santa call for
Okay.
sure. I think you need to do Santa. I think that Santa also needs to call here for Blazin' Hit Radio.
Oh, no.
We need
Everybody
to do
can
that.
call in and talk to Santa here. Well, maybe we'll do that
Wednesday,
tomorrow
I think
or
would
Wednesday.
be good. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get to that. But it's also about, like, you know, what you leave out for Santa.
Right.
Because last night we were watching Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That is my favorite
Love that one.
Christmas movie.
I think Elf and that are pretty
Totally.
close
Elf
to
and that
being
and
really...
The Christmas Story and Die Hard. They're great
I like
Christmas
the Cranks. I like the Home Alone. We already watched Home Alone 1 and 2.
Not to change it. Did you see the terrible live version last night of A Christmas Story?
I missed it. It was last night.
Horrible.
It was bad?
Horrible.
Oh.
Horrible.
Did they
Horrible.
sing?
Yes, they sang, and it was terrible acting.
But it had the best. It had Maya Rudolph.
They
It
should
had
not do
Matthew
live.
Broderick.
Yeah, it's really cheesy.
It's cheesy when they go live because people are like under pressure, and the kid is the main is the actor. He's the focal point, and he's a kid, and he's not going to be able to go live and have years of experience as acting. So you
the pressure's too intense, and it's like when you watch the Thanksgiving Day parade and the musical number breaks out.
Yes.
I feel the same way. I'm like, this is not me.
Right.
I don't like. I mean, it's just so weird that I like singing as long as it's
in a cartoon,
in a Disney movie.
In a Disney movie.
Yeah, it has to be like that, I guess.
Right. So last night for the Santa Claus, it was, you know, Tim Allen. The first year he goes out as Santa Claus, he's still, you know, kind of more human than he's become the magic of Santa. So he's telling the little girl he's lactose intolerant. He doesn't like drinking that milk. He needs a little bit more, you know, vegetables. So the next year when he comes full blown Santa, he drinks the milk and he's like, and then she's like, well, you told me last year you were lactose intolerant. And he was like, I did tell you that. Thank you for remembering. So Avery looks at me and she's like, we need to make sure we have the right milk for Santa. And I was like, we're going to have the right milk. She's like, we have to make sure the carrots are big enough for the reindeer.
Yeah,
because last year we used baby carrots. And I think now that she realizes how big a reindeer is, she's
Right,
like,
stiffen
that's
them.
nothing.
That didn't work.
It was a tic tac to that reindeer.
Right.
Right. So, you know, really, so she's really already thinking about what we're leaving out for Santa when he comes to visit the house.
Tell her that Santa's on soy milk, and that explains his man breasts. Because he has too much estrogen in the soy, and
What?
it's adversely affecting. You can't have too much soy.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
No. So
But then, you know, I started thinking when I was a kid, we would leave out
a
some
piece of pizza and a beer.
Yep. And Santa was all right with that.
I leave a pre-rolled.
Do you?
From
Right.
the Green
See, so
Solution.
some people might leave that.
And I always put it out there with a little shooter.
Uh-huh.
And every morning I wake up on Christmas, it's gone. So I don't know what Chris does, but he definitely ruined that whole joint and wasted it.
You mean Kris Kringle?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's funny because other people have these funny traditions, and like in Ireland, kids leave out
a potato. You just got a potato.
They leave out a pint of Guinness for Santa.
That's awesome.
So I hope America's before his trip to Ireland, because I don't want him wasted once he's leaving to come to America to give all of our kids our presents.
Everybody's going to leave him one of those Michelob Light, you know, those where you're supposed to stay in shape beers. They're only 80 calories.
Calorie conscious beers.
We're trying to pace you, Santa.
Right, you're a little heavy. All right.
Although, yeah, in America, give him the cookies.
I leave him a big thing of Velveeta
Oh, yes.
and a bag of tater tots from Sonic.
Well, he's going to have to stay and get comfy.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely remember one year we left out beer for Santa.
Oh, that's adorable.
Right.
So
And it was drink.
Well,
it was gone.
they were talking about like different traditions that people do. Oh, I may have watched the Gwen Stefani Christmas special.
I missed that too.
You can go on demand and just say it, and it comes
how
up.
was it? Did Blake Shelton show up?
Oh, they sang a song together.
You make me feel like Christmas.
Yeah, and it was great because
I knew I kissed you that I felt forever.
they sang it.
Yeah,
they sang
that's
it
a
live,
cute song.
and it's so cool because they were like looking at each other all goofy, like because you could tell they were a real couple.
Yeah.
And so that song really had some meaning. And I just look at them and I'm like, man, he lucked out because she's such a cutie.
Oh, yeah.
And then
talented.
Right. And she lucked out because she was going to probably marry the same type of guy or whatever. And she totally went a different route. And like, I love how the country thing has affected her look.
Totally.
And her music.
Right.
And I just love the effect they've had on each other.
And when she goes to his place, I don't know if it's in Oklahoma or wherever it is, when they go out there like on the boat and they're fishing and her kids are in like camo gear and stuff. Like, I mean, they look cool.
Right.
Still,
but it's
having
very
camo
different
gear.
than their British daddy cheater.
Yeah, right.
Rock singer.
I do like how the opposites attract with the two of them.
For the Christmas, she was talking about her tradition, where their tree is, they wrap the whole room off with wrapping paper.
What?
So the kids can't, like when they go to bed.
Yeah.
So they wrap the whole room where the tree is with paper. And so their tradition is to let the kids bust through the paper.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I was like, man, only rich people could afford that much paper.
Right. Well,
And you know
that's
they have
true.
tall ceilings too.
Right.
That's
so
what I'm
it's
thinking. I'm like, I don't have like a one entry. Mine's just an open room.
Right. You're going to have to do a tent or a box of wallpaper.
But that would be cool. Like bust through it like it's the big game day.
Right. Exactly.
Where's my gifts?
Do you have any traditions that you're with your family, or are you adopting any new ones?
Your mom?
I think my mom would do just the gifts before on Christmas Eve. Like, it was always like we'd go to church and then I'd just be anxious to get out of church because we'd go open gifts after that.
So you didn't have any gifts Christmas morning?
No.
You didn't have a stocking?
It was maybe the opposite. Like, there's maybe one Christmas gift left over on Christmas Day.
The one that Santa brought?
No, he came on Christmas Eve.
How is that possible?
He's
Did your mom
everywhere
think
every
this
night.
through?
No, I don't know.
I don't think she did.
Yeah.
His mom was also looking to meet Santa as a possible spouse.
Oh, no, she was not. She hates men.
Oh, right, you're right.
She's not a lesbian, but she hates men like she is one. I'll tell you what. Like,
I remember, like, there was a couple of years my dad had to do, like, he had to work, you know, because it's double time, you know, or time and a half or whatever. And so it would be like, you'd wake up that morning, you could do your stockings, you could do some presents from whatever.
And that's Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, but then you had to sit and stare at him all day until Dad got home from work.
Oh,
and
painful.
It was like, oh, it sucked. But then again, now that I'm a parent, I realize that must not have been good for my dad. I mean, I'm sure he would have liked to be home with his family.
He wasn't doing it to torture you.
Right, he was working so we could pay for all those presents that we just got.
Our family, we sat around.
Nothing.
I know.
We opened nothing.
What is it like
we
in the
left
Jehovah's
nothing
Witness?
for Santa. We just did
everyone's
nothing.
going to hell.
No.
And these fat jolly people are eating cookies are going to burn in eternal hell.
No, witnesses do not believe in hell. They just believe once you die, you die.
You guys never did the let's get in the car and drive around and look at all the Christmas lights?
No.
You never did that?
No, but I'll tell you the two things we did do.
Okay.
Witnesses are famous for going to movies on Christmas.
Okay.
And Thanksgiving, because that's the only thing that's open that they can do. And then, since my dad was not a witness, he would take us to the mall the weekend or the day after Christmas when all the sales are.
Okay.
And would hand us like a couple $100 each and just go do it up.
That's sick.
Right. So it was like not Christmas and nothing was in paper or wrapped. We went and bought our own thing.
But you got nice new stuff.
Right.
So you could come back from break and be like,
new shoes.
These are my new shoes. Right. Okay, then that's cool.
I remembered our tradition. We would throw up terrible Christmas lights on this tree, and then we'd drive up the street. Every time we drive up the street, my mom would go, look at that terrible, shitty house with Christmas lights. And then she'd be like, oh, that's our house. That was our tradition. Yeah, I remember that. It was awesome. I would have. Can I be Jehovah's Witness instead? I would have rather
had
your
nothing.
Mom filled you with Christmas spirit.
No.
Every year,
having nothing was not cool in the sense that, as personally me, I mean, because like if you were a good witness, I guess you wouldn't long for those things.
Yeah, right.
But me, I was like, what is all that?
But you're a kid.
Right, what is going on?
Any kid is going to want to be like, what's going on? That looks awesome. What do you mean?
Especially when you go into school, they make you go to a regular school.
Yeah.
And so now you're surrounded by all the Christmas and other holidays elements. Now it's like the choir's going to sing these Christmas songs. And now on Valentine's Day, everybody gives candy. And so like,
and you're doing cutouts of a Christmas tree and put
or
your
a
little
shamrock or whatever.
Glue ornaments on them.
Every turn you make as a witness kid is like, nope. No. And it's like, even when they're like, hey, we're all going camping. No.
You couldn't even go camp. When we went and did outdoor ed, you
didn't
get
allowed to go. Yeah, I know.
You at least got to do outdoor ed, right?
Oh, and that's how I learned how to sell things, because my mom couldn't afford it, so I had to go sell pizzas door to door and have people slam the door in my face and be like, listen, I can't enjoy what kids are enjoying unless you buy this pepperoni pizza.
Please.
It wasn't until I became comfortable with my sexuality that I then started cruising men, and then I definitely had outdoor ed.
His name was Ed, and you were outdoors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew where you're going.
I don't know if that's a bow we just put on the Christmas break.
Well, it was. If you saw Ed,
Yeah.
you'd been like,
Tied in a bow.
damn.
Way to go, Larry.
All right, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Hey, girl.
Call or text
I'm on my way to work.
303-728-3420.
Okay.
Blazin Hit Radio.
Didn't you say you had something that we missed on the Santa topic?
Yeah, so there was just something about, we were talking about leaving stuff out for Santa. That Ireland leaves out a pint of Guinness.
Right, and some people leave cookies, some
Right.
people leave pizza.
So they did a thing that if every household in the world left out 2 cookies for Santa, and he didn't have his magical metabolism, he would have to run 100,000 years straight to burn off the calories.
Okay, good thing he has a magical metabolism.
Exactly. Much
But
good.
For
Much
having
better.
a magic metabolism, he's still kind of fat.
right.
Yeah, I was like, can I ask for that for Christmas? I'm all, turn my 20-year-old metabolism
on.
Right. And he's really old. So,
Right.
he looks good for a couple 100 years old.
If you ate that many cookies, you definitely, when you go to the bathroom, it would be that Toll House log that kept coming out.
You mean how the
round-
the raw cookie dough?
Right,
how it
exactly.
comes out.
It's Mr. Hanky.
So wait, did you guys, as far as the girls go, because Chris and I are going to watch them one time before Christmas.
Yeah, you gonna do that?
Yeah, for
Is that
sure.
going to be your Christmas with them then?
You can tell
I
Kathy's a
yawned.
tired mom.
Yeah, you gonna do that? That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
When do you want to do that? Tonight?
Well, just before Christmas.
You need to do it where you can have them in the morning.
Right,
That's
for sure.
the fun of it.
Right. And so I just want to check with you guys because I know you guys are on it as far as things that you got them.
Yeah.
And I can't be stuck just giving them clothes because then they're going to think we're weak.
Right. No, you can't.
So I just need to know, like, from you, what toys you already got them, or so I know not to get that toy.
Right. We can discuss things. The one you pulled up was
The little
okay.
robot on the wheels?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was okay.
But now you told me that they both need their own things, so then I
How
have
about
to get
this?
2 of those.
They're kind of getting into Barbies a little more and more.
Oh, okay.
They have cars.
Okay.
They need some actual good Barbies because Daddy
Okay.
was in charge of buying them the Barbies last time.
Okay.
even
they
though-
weren't on sale, so
Even
you
though
probably-
they had like 6 Barbies, it was like the $6.99 Barbie.
Oh, okay. They need one with a good outfit and that comes with an
Right.
accessory.
Right.
Larry
or not
will
even
know.
that. Just they need ones that have better outfits. Right.
The only one that Kathy liked was like, "Hello, Black Ken."
Yeah.
Do they have a
He
black
did-
Ken? They have a black
Yeah.
Ken. Yeah.
Of course, my husband didn't buy that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the only anatomically correct doll.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Well, you don't want that. Yeah, and I understand
do
why I
want
didn't
that.
buy. Oh, you want that? This is for Kathy's Christmas. Okay, under Kathy's tree.
But speaking of gifts, everybody, if you give a gift to somebody that happens to be a gadget of some sort, 60% of us plan to give somebody a gadget of some sort, right?
Okay.
Let me guess. You have to give the batteries.
That.
Okay.
But you also have to be the tech support,
Oh, okay.
Tell them how to use it.
which is Wiggins' world.
Yeah.
Right, because-
90% of millennials are saying that they are the tech support for older relatives, including mom and dad and siblings.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Right, I know.
Just saying.
And the thing is, some people are really like, have been doing it so long, they're like jaded. They're like, him.
Yeah, totally.
He's like,
Like, just push this, push
Right,
that.
but
will
we
say
all
this.
have to help our parents to a certain level.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You all have to be like, no, Mom, this is how you do your phone mail.
No,
This is how you
right.
text, Mom. So we all have to do that.
With me, what's a nice trade off is so my in-laws, they're good with technology, but they'll still rely on me for some stuff. But they're amazing. Like Bob the builder, my father-in-law can
he's
build
great.
and do anything with his hands.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, it's a really nice
There's a
trade-off because I'm
trade-off.
like, oh, okay. I was like, I need you to build everything in my house and I'll get your whatever
Right.
working,
There's a
So
trade-off there.
yeah, it totally works out.
But
But
90% of millennials are saying that they are the tech support, and 50% of them said they've had to spend more than an hour helping a relative with a tech gift. So if you buy the tech gift, just be prepared. You're going to also have to
Get
probably
the
help
phone
them
call.
set it up,
Mhm.
teach them how to use it, whether it's a new phone, computer, a tablet, whatever it is.
Yeah, and maybe you can do that with a smile,
What?
if at all possible.
What do you?
I do it for them, not for you.
Bob, Bob gets a smile. Of course, Bob
See,
gets a
I mean,
smile.
he used to do stuff for me, and now
Because
he's
Bob
all,
at least tries.
Oh.
Larry just says, "What do I do here?" I was like, "Did you read what it said? It tells you."
No, it doesn't.
You have no patience.
For Larry.
Right.
Wow.
So Larry, the minute he asks you something, even if it's an honest
And if
thing
he asks me for anything, I jump. I leap. What do you need, buddy? I got it. I got you. What? I'll make it happen.
No.
Yeah, that's so true.
No, it's not.
So think about it. Maybe you should just give him a gift card instead of a gadget.
Or nothing at all.
There's stuff on my iPad, my new iPad. He told me to get an iPad Pro.
Right.
And so there's things on it that I definitely don't know how to fix or handle, but I don't even ask him. I'd rather just them not be on there, I guess.
Really?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
He could Google the answer.
Right.
You could YouTube video the answer.
There's the other statistic in here, and I found this case. 32% of people say that they have at least one family member who doesn't know how to use the gadget they got, even after they instructed them, so they don't use it at all. Right. I remember I got my dad's wife. They read all the time. That's all they do is read.
Oh, so you got a Kindle.
Yeah, I got her a Kindle. And
hello.
Right,
I'm here to read for you. I'm Kendall.
I even got her a gift card to put, any books she wanted, all that. And then we've had to go, the town librarian, she was a little younger, so she knew how to do the Kindle. So she helped her load the books on. And then it was, well, she's only there on Tuesdays. So it was like 3 weeks of her trying to go to the town library every Tuesday to try to get help. I was like, this is killing me. And then she ended up giving it away to one of her family members.
Who probably knew how to use it.
Right. One of her kids. I was like, you could have given it back to me. Yeah, right. But whatever.
I thought you were going to say, and there I was at my dad's house, and there it was still in the wrapping paper.
It was for a while. Although, going through my dad's house after he passed away, I was going through stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, here's that tech thing I got him to help him with his swing and golf, not even opened. Here's this. And so to the point where I finally started going, really, Dad? Really? You just put it in the way? It was funny.
You're so sorry.
Right. And then, of course, I'd show it to my husband, and Mr. Efficient was like,
I'll take it.
No, he was like, that's crap. We don't need that anymore. I'm like, because it was so old of my dad not using it.
That's funny.
So, after you die, we find out you didn't use any of the gifts we get you.
Mm-hmm.
To use Wiggins for tech support, call 303-728-3420.
Maybe I'll help you.
With a smile.
With a smile.